All right. So let me first give you a background idea why so many files I have shared with you and what is the uses of that so that you can have also brief understanding why so many files have been shared with us. The first and foremost challenge over here in our routine activities people is about our file data management. Okay. So that's the reason why whenever you are working with Excel file, if you're really worried about your, say, take an example of your Excel file size, how to reduce it. So without wasting your time or waiting for someone's support, you can always take the help of this Word document I have shared with you, naming called 8 ways to reduce your Excel file size. So for the time being, just watch my screen, no need to do anything. So this Word document, when I open it, you can notice we have got the different options along with the screenshots and the steps very precisely written over here. Only thing is you have to devote your time to understand how to reduce my Excel file size without, eliminating the content or deleting the data or removing the information out of this. So I'll tell you, there was a file of 14.6 MB space, but when I go for this option or I opted this method to reduce my Excel file size, I could reduce my file size by another 28%, which is really a biggest or quite a good achievement for me. So whenever time permits, go for this Word document. May not you remember the whole steps, don't worry, but it will change your perception. So you have a belief system now. There is a way we can definitely make the things better in terms of saving our time and as well as the file space can be reduced. So this is a document for your self-help purpose. I have given it to you. One more you find over here naming called keyboard shortcuts. So in today's world, people, time is money. Whatever the task you do in Excel, your motive has to be how to save our time. So here you can see a workbook. I have sent it across to you where you'll be finding the entire Excel keyboard shortcuts list is available. And only thing is you have to keep using all these keyboard shortcuts. Then only things will be registered in your mind. And trust me, you can save a lot of time. I have not only shared the MS Excel, MS Word, MS PPT, and MS Outlook, the office applications which we use the most in our routine activities. I have shared it across over here. So only thing is you have to daily basis spend some time to learn these keyboard shortcuts and try to implement at your workplace. And that's the only way to learn your shortcuts. Now, there is one more file I have shared it across, naming called Learn Excel Free. So if you open this notepad, you can find there are 10 website names I have listed over here. So you must be thinking, Prabhas, are you promoting all these websites in your platform? No. Or are you the brand ambassador of any of the websites? No. I am sharing all these websites names. The reason is, I'll tell you, Excel is such a subject. In fact, 6 months training is also not enough to complete the subject. So we have got maximum 16 hours of window timeline. Now, once you attend this 16 hours, if you have the curiosity to learn something more in Excel, instead of going to someone's YouTube channel and going here and there and wasting your time, later getting frustrated or disappointed, better you go to all these websites. You can get a lot of healthy content and which you can connect with your real-time data and you can make a lot of difference at your workplace. And the beauty is entire thing is complimentary and absolutely free for you. So only thing is you have to invest your time to learn Excel better. Now one more file I have shared across to you naming called Office Repair. So if you look at Office Repair file, there are two website links I have shared with you. Now you must be thinking, Prabhas, why do you share the links to us? The reason is being very simple. Whenever you are working with an Excel file, sometimes or later you'll be finding that file when you try to reopen after 1 month or 5 months or 6 months, the file shows some kind of error. Excel is not able to read your data. Excel file is corrupted. Excel data is scrambled. And whenever you open the Excel file, it goes for crash. So all these problems you will be facing. And in that case, instead of waiting someone's or IT support and wasting your time, I would suggest you take one of the link and go to your office browser, say Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome, or Mozilla Firefox. Just copy that link and there you paste it in the address bar. And the moment when you paste it over here, it will take you to a tool. And this tool will be hardly taking a 50 or 100 kbs of space, not much more than that. So what you need to do, you have to connect that Excel file which is corrupted over there in the tool, and you have to click the repair button. And trust me, it will take its own time, but 95% data can be recovered as it is. And the beauty is, entire thing is complementary. Now you must be thinking, Prabhas, why did you reserve for data loss of 5%? What kind of data there would be a loss? Yes, if you have created some kind of engineering diagrams or process flow diagrams taking the shapes, connectors, there might be a chance of data loss. And I told you entire thing is complementary. Yes, but there is a limitation. You can get complimentary service only up to 5 MB of Excel file size. If your Excel file size is more than 5 MB, of course, you have to purchase a license for that, because these guys also, they have to win their bread and butter, right? And we know there is nothing such as called free lunch in this world. We have to pay for everything. So this is the reason why over here, this tool I have referred to you any point of time. If you face such kind of challenges in your workplace, no need to be panic. Just make use of this link and tool as well. If your organization doesn't permit to load or download any kind of third-party software, then take the help of IT and get it downloaded and get your file data recovered over there. So this is a very beautiful tool. Personally, I have used it and successfully able to find my data or retrieve my data. That's why I'm giving all these helping hands to you. Now, rest of things, we have understood the business activities in the corporate world, and we have created some sample case studies taking some data from finance, something from accounts, something from HR, something from admin, production, planning. So different vertical and department wise, we have taken some data and we have collected our sample case studies. So whenever there is a need, I will take you through those case studies. You have to follow with me and we have to work together. And our agenda would be only four things. One, how to save our turnaround time. Whatever the task we do in Excel, how to save our turnaround time. Now, option two. The second aspect or factor is how to increase our productivity and efficiency on our routine activities. Third, how to reduce our human errors while working with Excel. Fourth, how to avoid the duplication of work so that the quality of work will be improved and we can also make our things better at the workplace. So this is how people we are going to work with the data set or the files what I have shared with you. You got a clarity about that. But since it is a virtual platform, instead of being alien to each other, let's have a quick introduction so that we can get to know each other very well. You can ask your questions in the comfort zone and we can make our program more interactive. And at the end of the day, when you leave the meeting room, at least you can get some takeaways from the training so that you'll be getting more confidence to make the things better. So let me start with first myself. My name is Prabhas Panda. Past 17 years, I've been doing this MS Office training and consulting. I owned a small organization called Excel4all, but we are not confined alone to Excel. We have got the expertise complete MS Office suite along with the ETL tools like Power BI, Tableau, and finance modeling, finance with finance for non-finance, and art of finance also. We do provide training to corporates. And the weekends, this kind of public workshops we conduct. And since this is a virtual platform, we have to work properly, and the communications is also very essential. So whenever you have any queries, of course, we have got a mic option. You can always just switch on your mic if it is on mute, unmute and speak about your queries. And definitely by understanding your query, I would help you out. Now, if you believe, okay, mic is not working, Prabhas, what I can do? We have got a chart window option over here. So you can definitely go for chart window option. You can drop your queries in the chat box and I will be reading the same and definitely I'll help you out. Now, if you believe the audio communication or the text exchange is not helping you out, you still need my presence in your screen. Yes, we do have a screen sharing option next to the mic. You can see, and I request always share your screen or desktop. Do not share your window. Yes, do not share your window, because if you share your window, the dialog box launchers will be missing. I can't see all those things and I will not be in a position to help you out. So whenever you share your screen, kindly share your screen or desktop. Don't share the window. Right. Now, regarding your doubts and queries, if it is related to the subject matter, we'll be taking enough time to clarify then and there. If it is related something to your personal queries or about your own data, we'll be utilizing the break window, or at the end of the training program, I'll be spending some 5 to 10 minutes to help you out. So this is how we are going to run our show. All right. So I believe all clear, whatever I'm the instruction given to you. Any doubt, any queries?
No, Prabhas, thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, Dilip, you could just switch off your video. That's what I'm just making a kind request. You have got two logins, Dilip. You can unmute and speak. Your mic is on mute. You can unmute and speak, and you can switch off your camera. In the same window, bottom line, you will be finding the series of your icons. You can see mic, you can see camera icon will be there. Yes, Dilip, able to hear me? You can drop me a message if you're able to hear me. Drop me a chat box message. Y for yes. Okay, so let's go for a quick introduction, people. Round the table, I'll go start with which. So, Sanjay, able to hear me? Okay, I guess Sanjay is having some trouble with the internet. Anuradha, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you can help yourself with a two-line of introduction and let me know your expectations from this today's program.
So I am from animation field, VFX industry,
Okay.
and I want to join the production coordinator profile. So that's why I want to get Excel in Excel.
Okay, that's a good one. Fine. So anything specific you have the mindset, or you had the expectation and you have joined the program, anything like that?
Actually, last interview I failed
Okay.
with Excel. That's why.
Okay, no problem. So I can make it as functions and formulae and the quick tips
Yeah.
and tricks. Okay,
Thank you.
welcome. Next, I'll go to Hitisha. Yes, Hitisha, able to hear me? You can check your mic, unmute and speak. Okay. Jay, able to hear me?
Yes, Prabhas.
Yeah. So could you please help yourself?
Uh, I'm Jay. I'm 22 years old.
Okay.
I graduated very recently, and my domain is finance. And as you would expect, finance requires a heavy Excel usage, Excel and VBA macros. So
Okay.
that's what.
Okay. Anything specific expectations you have, Jay?
Yeah, the keyboard shortcuts, and also like knowing some like particular functions, like there may be like VLOOKUP, and there may be many more like I'm not aware of.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Thank you.
Well, next I'll go to our, yeah, Nanda. Nanda, if you're able to hear me, could you please just help yourself with the two-line of introduction? You can unmute and speak. Your mic is on mute. Okay. Next, I'll go for Nikhil.
Sir, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, yes, Nanda, I can hear you. Yeah.
Firstly, sir, I'm really sorry I took a lot of your time.
Not a
And
problem.
I just wanted to learn this. I just wanted to join this course because I was eagerly waiting for this. For many times I got due to this like hectic schedule and all that. But this time somehow I made it. But sorry, sir, I took a lot of your time.
It's okay. It's okay, Nanda. That's fine. As long as it is not giving an impact, I'm ready to support to my people. It's my job also. No issues. Fine then. So you finally you made it. I'm glad and welcome back to our training program. All right. So here, as I understand, you are looking for the most into functional formulas and the data management. Okay. Well, so next
And
up,
I,
yeah.
uh,
Yes. What you're saying, Nanda? Could you please repeat that?
and professional dashboards.
Dashboards, of course, dashboard. All right. Next, I'll go to our friend Nikhil. Nikhil, able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
This is Nikhil Damgode.
Mhm.
I'm working in Heva India Private Limited.
Okay.
In PPC department.
Okay.
Basically, my experience from this training is that I'm dealing with large data, my inventory data.
Mhm.
So I need to reduce duplicate work and represent the data in effective manner to our management.
Okay.
This is my main purpose.
Okay, no problem. All right. So next, I'll go to our friend Sridhar. Yeah. Mhm.
I'm working in TCS in finance domain.
Okay.
So I make report. So we look and lookup and data validation.
Mhm.
So and also pivot table.
Okay.
My expectation is learn more all these things.
Okay. Okay. No problem. Definitely, I'll help you out with regard to all these things, Sridhar. Yep. So next, I'll go to our friend Vijaya. So I guess it's Vijaya Lakshmi, right? Your mic is on mute. You can unmute and speak.
Is it audible?
Yep. Yep. We can hear you.
That's
Very good.
I'm working as a deputy manager there. Okay. So actually we are newly introduced some of the applications and all. So we have to analyze the huge data related to our organization.
Okay.
So for that we have to learn some more in Excel.
Okay.
So that is the reason I'm just joined in this.
Fine.
Okay.
No
So
problem.
preparation of tax is everything whatever the government has required from our organization, everything we have to represent.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Fine then. So I believe I have noted down all your expectations. So anything is missing, you're always welcome in this 16 hours of program to address all your issues, people. One thing for sure, you make a point that whatever the things you are learning, you have to make a lot of practice of that, because in training program, everything seems to be like a fairy tale. Unless and until you practice it, you will not be getting the hang on those topics. So practice is very, very essential. And every day, whatever you learn, you have to make a quick, just brush up on those things so that once you go for next session, you will be ready with all these things. And you'll be getting the session wise recordings at the end of the day. Don't worry about it. So even though any point of time you believe that, okay, I have a slight internet glitch or I could not attend it, don't worry. You can follow those recordings, but don't miss the class. Just don't be have the confidence, okay, I'll be getting the recordings from my leisure time. I can go through it and I can skip the class. Don't do that. I would suggest. All right. So now coming to the data, when you are working with people over here, one thing being a professional, we should know which version of Microsoft Excel we are working with. Okay. So Dilip, able to hear me? I'm a bit doubtful whether you are able to hear me or not. If you are able to hear me, please drop me a message in the chat box. In the MS Teams, there is a chat window. Please drop me a chat box message. Able to hear me? Y for yes. That's it. Okay, no problem. Fine then. So now being a professional, as I told you, we should know which version of Microsoft Excel we are working with. So how will I know that? First of all, if I go for our Excel, window, you go for Excel, a new Excel file. And there, if you go to the file menu option, we have an option called account. And if you go and click this account option, it will be showing you which version of Microsoft Excel you are working in. So in my system, if you see, it shows me Microsoft 365. So likewise, you need to identify your own version, and please drop me a message in the chat box. If it is 365, just write 365. If it is 2016, write 2016. If it is 2013, write 2013. Whatever it is, just confirm that. Okay, so it is as 2016 professional fines. Nikhil is running 365. How about others people? Could you please confirm me? Okay, Vijay is also 2013. Okay, 2019. Yash, Jay 2021. Good. All right. So no problem. That's fine completely. Now, what is the reason I have asked this question, or why I need to really identify my version? I'll tell you. Sometimes Hitisha is asking, how can I update to 2021? You have to purchase a license, Hitisha, for that. You cannot update
Okay.
just like that. You have to purchase a license. That license cost you around 5K to 10K. Between that, 2021, you can get it.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. All right. Now, the reason of knowing your version, I told you, because sometimes what it happens, friends, you would have seen some other person's laptop, he's using some formulas, functions, and that is working like a charm. So definitely you would be also having the same expectation. Okay, Excel in Excel, it can be like done like this. So when you start expecting that, and when you start using the same function in your Excel, you don't find that function is available. So no need to be panic. It is because of the difference of version. So somebody is having some formula, but you are not having because of the version. So you need to only upgrade your system, Microsoft Office applications, to that version so that you can get it. Now, if you can ask me, okay, Prabhas, okay, that's fine what you're saying, but ideally, being a user, which version of Microsoft Office I should work with? I would suggest go for Office 365, because Office 365 is the only version where you will be getting the immediate Microsoft updates. Rest of the versions are having the standalone license, one time purchase. You will be getting the license in your name, but certain restrictions, certain updates, you will not be getting that what people get in Microsoft 365. Now, Microsoft 365, is it cost effective, Prabhas, or Office 2021? See, Office 2021, it's a one-time license. As I told you, it will be costing around 5K to 10K per license max. But Office 365, if you go for it, every month end you have to pay a royalty, or annually, quarterly, whatever the billing subscription you have taken. Based on that, as long as you want to use Microsoft Office 365, you have to pay some royalty to Microsoft. And that is the reason why what the benefit or privilege people who are having in Microsoft 365, they won't get in the other versions. And whenever you want to go for Microsoft Office application, go for Office 365. I will tell you going forward, when we are working with our data, you will come to know also why and how Microsoft 365 is very, very essential compared to other versions, and how it is more beneficial being an Excel user. You can come to know. I'll tell you what and where, how the difference are. Don't worry. Now, let us go for our sample case studies folder, people. There, go to the first file name called corporate case studies. So kindly open that file, Excel file name called corporate case studies. And if you go for it over here, it will be landing up with your cover page. Kindly click on the next button. It will take you to the sheet name called business maths. So in front of your screen, if business maths sheet is on, kindly confirm, give me a message in the chat box, Y for yes. Okay. Yes, people, how about others? I got 4 confirmation. This is how we are going to communicate each and every time. I'll keep on asking, is it done? Are you with me? Able to follow me? Is it clear? Have you understood? So this kind of questions, quite a lot of time I'm going to ask. Yes, Anuradha, yours is a little bit slow. I have to check the system later, but not now. Why it is slow? Because there might be some other applications would be running in the backend or background. So we need to just deactivate that. So those things I can help you out only at the end of the session if you wish to get my help. All right, no problem. So now let me take you through our first example. So now the question is, what is this example about? Was what kind of data you have created over here? Let me give you a background story of that. In our routine activities, people, we deal with lot of basic calculations like plus, minus, division, subtractions, or multiplication, anything you name it. We do a lot of times, isn't it? Now, what we have done in this particular Excel sheet, we have collected few samples of our routine activities, and now we are going to discuss upon the same. Though it is a basic calculations, how to make some improvements in that, how to save our turnaround time while doing such kind of calculations, we are going to see. That's the agenda. Now, let me take you through the data first. Let's see. Let's focus with the data. Suppose say one person from the purchase team, he came to me and asked, Prabhas, I need to purchase 3 products, XYZ, ABC, you name it. A of 1000, B of 12, C of 20. Quantities, how much to be procured, it is clear. Now, when I inquired with the vendor has given the rates, A of 1 rupee each, B of 20 rupees each, C of 10 rupees each. So when I take up this matter to my finance team to collect a check, my finance team person, he asked me, Prabhas, how much amount you need to purchase all these said 3 products of said quantities. So I need to answer my finance team. So what we do in that case, no need to do anything, just watch my screen. We go to a new column and we type a formula equal to quantity multiplied by rate per unit. Then we make a total of that. Then we realize that we need to collect a check amount of 1440 rupees. Do you agree with me? This is how we do.
Yes.
Now, there is nothing wrong. Whatever we are doing is absolutely fine, correct, no problem over here. But let us analyze the situation. See, just to answer to our finance team, our this cell alone value is enough. But what is the point of getting all these 3? This is not playing any role, but we are helpless. Unless and until we get all these 3, this total cannot be achieved. So that forced us to create some unwanted data. 1. The moment you create a column and you apply necessary formulas and functions, what is happening? The file size is also getting heavy. So now can you realize why our file size is getting huge or getting bigger or heavier in size? Because of unwanted columns. So this is what our experts suggest us. Today, we are going to stop doing it. So what kind of improvements we need to do, how to get the same answer, I'll tell you. Just 1 minute, watch my screen. We have a cell called total cost. I can keep my cursor and I can go for a formula naming some product. So some product is the formula which is there since inception of 1985 when Microsoft Office has come into force. Till 2021 version of Microsoft Excel, this formula is there. And technically this is called array formula. And if you look at what is that formula demanding? Array 1. In our data, what is the first column? Quantity taken, comma. What is the next one? Array 2, second column, rate per quantity. So two inputs we have provided inside the formula. And the moment I hit enter, I could get the same value. Can you see that? So this is how people, even though I have got 1000 entries, I no need to be worried about a simple formula is going to do the job for me. So please give it a try and check some product is working for you.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Okay, great.
Prabhas, I have a question here.
Please ask.
So you did two things. One, when you were talking about the unwanted data,
Right.
when you drag that 1240 and 200, how come your total automatically appeared as a sum? Yeah.
Yes, you can go for a simple formula. Suppose I have selected this data. Okay. I wanted total of that. I can simply go for a keyboard shortcut over here, naming code in the keyboard, alt with equal to, not plus, equal to. The first application is equal to sign. So alt with equal to is the keyboard shortcut for quick sum. So automatically what will be happening when you go for it, it will be giving you the total.
Sure. Okay. One more question. When we are using some product, it is giving us the multiplication. How about if we want to do, let's say, a division?
See, it's not about division we're talking about. We are just doing the sum of the product. Product means multiplication, sum means the total. The formula itself, the answer is there. You cannot do the divisions and all.
No. The question here was that, so this 1440 is the sum of 1240 and 200, right? That 1240 and 200 is a multiplication of 1000 into 1, 12 into 20, and 20 into 10.
Right.
So what if I wanted to divide 1000 by 1, 12 by 20, and 20 by 10? Is there any way to do that?
No, there is no such kind of formulas in Excel when you do the divisions of activities and all those things. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorted. Thanks.
Right. No problem. Yeah, Hitisha, is it working for you right now?
Yes, it's working for me, but I do have a question.
Yeah.
Where in this right now, there are just three quantities that we're looking at. So, I've probably dragged my cell from 4E to 6E. But what if I have a very large amount of data which goes beyond one screen? Then how do I go to the last cell?
Simple. The moment we selected over here, instead of selecting mouse like this, you don't select like this. You keep your cursor in the first cell. Shift control and down arrow key. Shift control and down arrow key press together. So automatically it will be selecting the whole range.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome. All right, friends. So I believe everybody is clear with the first example, that is our sum product formula, how this is helping us over here. We have seen that. Now we are going to discuss our question number 2 is naming called vendor evaluation. So we'll discuss first something on this point, then we'll go on working with this. In any industry or organizations, wherever you are working with people, we have our own purchase system where they have their own SOP also. So SOP means standard operating procedures. They have their own rules, regulations, and we need to follow them. So what is that SOP says that whenever you are depending upon with a single source of supply for your critical items, then you are running your business with high risk. So what our SOP suggests or SOP system of our purchase system says that you should have minimum 3 competitive codes, naming L1, L2, L3. Do you agree with me? Any industry?
Yes.
So now the same thing we need to do, people. We have a prices column. You can see, look at the same and tell me if in this case I want to find out L1, L2, L3, how will I get that? So what will be my L1 price? Can somebody tell me that? Just manually check and tell me what will be my L1 price, the lowest one.
87.
87. L2?
99.
99.2. L3?
103.
103.2. Very good. Now, since we have got maximum 7 to 8 items, it was easy for us to identify L1, L2, L3. Suppose, say, take an example, a real-time case. When you open the file, there are 10,000 entries are there like this, and you need to find out same L1, L2, L3. What we do in that case? Can somebody give me an idea?
Greater than, smaller than?
We just arrange the data. We just arrange the data in smallest to largest order. We sort our data, right? We have a data sorting tool. isn't it? In the home, you find over here sort, smallest to largest. If you go to data also, we do have a option sorting smallest to largest. If you right click also, we do have a option called sorting smallest to largest order. So all these things we do, and once we arrange the data in smallest to largest order, whatever the three items appears in the top, that we consider as our L1, L2, L3, we highlight them and we drop a mail to our superior stating that we have done the ground level of working and we are requesting you give us an approval so that we can start procuring the materials. And our bosses or superior, whoever XYZ also, sometimes what it happens, they don't see our mails and they immediately give us a green signal. Prabhas, don't worry, go ahead, start procuring the materials. This is how we work. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Now, in this case, in the entire situation, what we discussed, nothing wrong. Whatever doing we are doing, that is absolutely fine. But I have a question. In this entire procedure, where is the value addition to the work? Because the task what we are doing, arranging the data smallest to largest order, anybody can do. I could have given this task to my one of my subordinate. I could have given this task to my office boy also, because nowadays office boy also comes with minimum of MS Office literacy, right? Then why, being a professional, being a skilled person, I am wasting my time and doing the task which is non-productive in nature? We never think about that. We need to. One thing. Second, you can ask me a question also, Pravas. What you are saying is absolutely correct. We have never realized that. But my boss has never objected for the same. If this is the task I am not supposed to do, my boss should have been objecting for the same, right? But he has never done that. Why? The reason why he has never objected is you are not doing anything wrong. What you are doing is that is nothing but the best practice or the industrial practice we have in the any industry, and you are also following the same. So boss is also not going to object for the same. So what you have understood now, that it's not necessary or mandatory that whatever the existing practice in the organization is there, that should be the best practice. If you believe any point of time you can make some improvements, if you believe, yes, friends, please keep your mic on mute. If you have any queries, you have the liberty to unmute and speak, no problem. That is always there. You have the freedom. Okay. Yeah. So now the moment we go for this over here, as I told you, the existing practice, what you have doesn't need to be the best practice. If you believe any point of time you can make some improvements, please go and implement that. Who knows? You can save some cost to the company. You may save some time for the yourself or for your organizations. But unless and until you try once, you will never realize that. So that is what I would like to say all the time. Think out of the box. Then only you can make a difference at your workplace. So now the question is, if this kind of task is there, instead of doing every time this sorting task, smallest to largest order, every time when you purchase a product, you have to keep doing this exercise repeatedly. Instead of doing that, how to make some improvements in this? I will tell you. No need to do anything. Just watch my screen, what I'm explaining. Try to understand. If you have any queries, you can ask me. Don't worry. But first, let us have an understanding how to make improvements. See, whenever there is a need to do some kind of vendor evaluation, first of all, you should not maintain many more files because people do not like to see your bunch of your files. And when you have a data to maintain, just maintain only one file, having maximum 2 sheets. So one sheet will be containing our day book. Day book is our property where the entire details about the vendor, like the vendor name, the vendor type, whether it is a retailer, manufacturer, trader, service provider, registered or unregistered, if it is a price, inclusive of freight or exclusive of freight, how many days of credit he is going to provide to us, how many years he is into this business, what is his email ID, phone number, blah, 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 whatever, etc. You can maintain the maximum information you can capture. That should be there in our daybook. That's our property. Now, when we are going to send the same to the next level, say our boss or superior XYZ, whoever, there should be a sheet name called summary. The name itself is sufficient. You know what kind of data it should be there. First of all, people don't like our boring stories or elaborated data. So people like the data should be in a crisp fashion. So maximum 4 to 5 columns of data. not more than that, because people don't like to see many more column of the data. We know that very well. Now, maximum 10 to 11 data columns over here, and you could see over here what type of information I should make it available for my boss. One, there should be a sheet naming called summary, and there should be a cell naming called products. So products cell should have a list of products. Whatever we purchase, that list of products should be there. Suppose I take an example. I am preparing some sample data like PR1, product 1, PR2, product 2, PR3, PR4, and PR5. Suppose say I'm dealing with 5 products. So my boss will be having a privilege to see this drop down, and when he clicks on this, immediately he'll be finding the list of products. Now suppose say he choose one particular product out of this, then immediately what is supposed to happen, there should be 3 cells naming over here as L1, L2, L3, and there should be a naming called price. And in this price column, data should be available. So how this price is going to come, where it is going to come from the daybook, and how it is going to come over here from daybook, but using some formulas, some functions. Now, once your price is populated over here, then with immediate effect, next column, there should be a name of that vendor. Who is that vendor who has given this much of rate, who has quoted this much of rate? That list should be available. Now just see how the things become more dynamic. So you don't need to go and keep on checking all the time. Just select the product, and based on that, everything will be there in place. So when you present this kind of information, don't you think that this kind of process improvement can be done? What do you say?
Yes, absolutely.
And once you do this, trust me, whomever you are sending the file, he is going to retain this file for his whole life to set an example for others. See, this is called report. And this is just one-time job. What we need to do, we don't need to touch this summary sheet anymore. We have to only keep updating our daybook records. Suppose a new vendor comes, we can add one more line item in the bottom. If any existing vendor is just closed his door, or he has shut down his entity, whatever it is, then you can eliminate that name. That is the only thing you have to keep doing. One file alone is enough to cater all the needs. And this is how people, you are going to learn all these things. Don't worry, whatever I told you, everything we are going to discuss. So one thing over here, our focus area is how to get this price column, how to get the prices. That is what we are going to discuss. So here we have got in our data sheet, if you see, we have got over here bottom 3, one column is there, and this is the place where same L1, L2, L3 we have to answer. So now the question is how to prepare or how to get the solution. See, we have a practice. What is the practice? I'll tell you that we go to a cell, we type a formula, we execute the answer, and then finally we just go and drag the formula towards down or copy paste the formula towards down. This is what we do. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So today we are going to stop that. What is the improvement we are going to make? See, first 1 minute, watch my screen. First we select all these 3 cells where we need to design the solution. That area first I have selected. Then I kept my mouse aside, touchpad aside, and immediately I'll go for a formula naming called small. So ready-made formula is there. First 1 minute, watch my screen. I'll be giving time to work out, don't worry. First understand. So when I took small formula, this asked me called array. So array is nothing but my prices column. Now this array should not move down when I copy this formula towards down. So what I'm supposed to do with that?
Freeze.
How to freeze it?
F4.
F4. If F4 is not a direct key, you have to use function with F4. That depends upon of your brand of laptop or the keyboard behavior. So now once I made it, this is asking me K. So K is nothing but the ranking or the numbers, you can say. So in our case, L1, what should be the rank? The question itself answer is there. L1 rank should be 1. L2 rank should be 2. L3 rank should be 3. So basically in place of k, we want 1, 2, and 3, but we cannot give it together. And neither we can go to each and every cell in the formula and we can edit the formula. No. So that's the reason why what we have done in the next column, column G, if you look at, we have already created 1, 2, 3 over here. So we are going to use that cell help over here. So we have taken G12. G12 is containing 1. So that will become the K value for small formula. And the moment I go for bracket close, formula is ready, only with one cell. And ideally, we end our formula with enter. But today, we are going to use control enter. So once I go for control enter, can you see with immediate effect, we got our solution. So this is how people, we have understood how to make use of this formula called small. So just give it a try. Any difficulties, do let me know.
Done.
Okay.
So we used control enter because we had selected the range of sales where we need the output, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So any small query also glitch is there, anything doubt you have in the mind, please make it clear, because all these things we are going to use frequently in our day 2, day 3, day 4. So day 1 is completely based on your fundamental topics and TAT saving techniques.
If you are not using control bus center, then what will happen?
It will just appear in the first cell. And then yeah.
The control enter thing is not working for me actually.
Yeah, could you please share your screen?
Yes. Can you see my screen?
Not yet, Jay. Yes, it's getting loaded. Yeah, go to Excel. Yes.
Okay.
Fine.
So now I'm pressing control.
Yeah, you
and
have
then
first.
enter.
That is what the problem, because you have not selected all the 3 cells before designing the formula. So
okay,
so you come
this is supposed.
Yeah, you come out of that. Escape. Go for escape. Just now select all the 3 cells. Bottom 3 column, all the 3 gray colored cells.
Okay.
Now go for F2.
Okay.
So what happens now? All the 3 cells are selected and the formula from the initial cell is open. Now you can go for control enter.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
So if you missed out any point of time and you got your solution only in the first cell, no need to recreate the entire process. Just select the whole range, open the formula, control enter. You can use it still.
Prakash, I have a question again.
Yeah.
I did receive the result output, but then the second and the third output has the error sign, the green mark on it.
Okay.
Why is that?
Okay, you can share your screen.
Okay. Started.
Yeah, go to Excel. Yeah. See, if you select all the 3 cells, the solution area, the gray colored cells, select and open the formula. Yeah. So what is happening over here, you can notice you are not getting your right solution since the range is not locked. E12 to E17, you should lock it. Yeah, that alone, you go for F4, press F4. No, not there. not in G12. You should E12 to E17. That alone. Yeah. Now control enter.
Thank you.
Now you will not be getting any more.
Thanks.
Yeah, welcome. All right, friends. So I believe everybody is clear what we did. So let me take the control back on the screen. And now, regarding this bottom three solution, how to get it and what it is going to give us the result that we have pretty confirmed. And this is what we have to use when you design such kind of templates or the reports, what I told you the other time. So this is how the formulas will be using it. Now, coming to the next. Similarly, I need to find out top three also. Like bottom three, we use the formula naming called small. So top three, ideally, what would be the formula? Opposite of small, what it would be? Should be large?
Large.
Absolutely. So now, just watch 1 minute on my screen. Taking the large over here, prices column, again, I'll be taking. And this range should not move down. So what I'm supposed to do? E12 to E17, when I copy this formula towards down, this range should not move down. So what I'm supposed to do?
F4.
Yes.
Freeze.
Freeze. So freezing purpose will be using F4 key, or you can use function F4 depending upon your keyboard behavior or brand of laptop. And then going for comma, she's asking again K. I told you K, what is the meaning? Is the called ranking. So ranking purpose, we need 1, 2, 3. So since we have already got a helper column ready in the left side, I can take 1, the first case, and comma. And then to apply the formula for the rest of the cases, what is the shortcut we learned? Control enter, and we got the answer ready. So this is how people, again, we need top three values any point of time, will be using the formula like large. Formulas are pretty helpful whenever you design a dashboard, summary report, tabular reports, like bottom 5 or top 5 values, top 10 values out of a huge data sets. You can go for this kind of formulas and it will be ready. So whenever there is a change in the data, automatically my formula will be acting accordingly. I don't need to go on repeatedly doing this sorting action. So kindly check it out. Is it working? Any confusion, any queries, feel free to ask.
Sir, for me, this formula is working.
Okay.
But the question is, when do I know that I need to use the freeze formula?
Okay. See,
I need to freeze a cell in this, or I don't need
right.
it there.
I'll tell you. See, now the question is when I go for this again, okay, I'm just taking it out to the separate thing over here. Now, if I go for this bottom three, okay, equal to small, I don't lock it, okay. I'm just taking this as it is over here, and I'm taking this one. Now, when I just drag it, am I getting the same value? L1 is okay. L2 is also fine, but L3 there is a problem now. Can you see? Ideally, it is supposed to be 103.2. What I'm getting, but
111.
so it's wrong. Why I'm getting like this? Because when I open the formula, then you can realize when I copy this formula down, my range is moving down. Can you see that prices column range is moving the blue color border? So
Yeah.
though I am looking for L1 or L3, it has to always search starting from 103.2 ending with 134. It should not go beyond that. Do you agree with me?
Okay. Yeah,
So
I understand.
this is the reason why we need to go for selecting this range and locking the same. So locking means what exactly happening? I'll tell you. There are $2 symbols are getting applied, one before K. K is column. So column is locked. So when I copy this formula towards right, K will never go to L because column is locked. So one is before 12. 12 is the row. So once I go for locking row also, when I just copy this formula towards down, K12 will never go to K13 because your row is also locked. So this is called nothing but your cell constant, cell freeze, or cell lock. And in technical terms, it is called as your absolute reference. Hope it is clear.
Yes, it is. But then I can't use this in a dynamic document. So आप पहले जो example बता रहे थे कि where I use a day book where the data can change on a daily or a weekly basis.
Okay.
तो उस case में फिर ये formula काम नहीं करेगा, right?
नहीं क्यों नहीं करेगा? See,
क्योंकि मेरा यहाँ पे अगर मैं K17 तक ही ले रही हूँ, so I'm locking myself from let's say K12 to K17.
Right. So K17
एक हफ्ते के बाद जाके K18 पे कोई डेटा आता है तो वो तो काउंट नहीं होगा।
हाँ तो
क्योंकि मैंने सेल लॉक किया हुआ है।
बिल्कुल ठीक है। तो यहाँ पे 1000 कर लीजिए, कौन क्या फर्क पड़ता है?
अच्छा, ओके, that way.
So that is what maximum in, even though after 5 years also आपके database कितने बनेंगे? Maximum 1 lakh you can work out with. So take an anonymous range starting from K17 or K12 till K1 lakh. तो आराम से आपका काम रहेगा, जितना भी डेटा डालते जाओ क्या फर्क पड़ता है, राइट?
जी सर, so makes sense now.
बिल्कुल। चलिए, so I believe friends we are clear with our small and large formula, correct? Chalo. Now, as a user, because you are going to use all these things, I am just doing a postman job. What Microsoft has designed, I am only passing out that knowledge to you, how to implement, where to work with, and how to design those formulas. I am just doing that job, right? Now, being a user, you have to work on this. But now my question is, are you happy with the solution?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Okay. So now take an example. I am taking two names from our group. One is our friend, suppose Yash, and the other one I'm taking Jay for our story. So Yash and Joy, is there any problem or objection if I take your name for the story?
No. All
Okay.
right.
Thank you so much. Now suppose say this is what our friend Yash has created. Okay, the data in a template or anything you name it, and Jay is watching on that. And watching Joy over here, he believes that why Yash has created all this. Jay feels that it is unwanted and he deleted. What happens? Formula is in trouble. This is what happens. So what you believe now? Whatever we have created taking the helper column, this is what our experts, they do suggest us to do the job like this. But Microsoft Excel never recommends for that because unwanted columns are always taking a lot of space. And whenever you are presenting the same to the other user, this is one more problem. People may delete your data, could be the case. So in this case, how to design our solution? That is the most important thing. So now we are going to use this 1, 2, 3 in the formula, that is for sure. But without taking the helper column, how to generate it. So we are going to make our formula efficient enough in such a way, it will generate same 1, 2, 3 in the formula itself and get the answer. How? I'll tell you. Just 1 minute, watch my screen. No need to do anything. See, as we have developed the practice, first I will select all the 3 cells of my solution area equal to, I will take my large formula, of course, array is in prices column, and I should lock it. Up to this clear?
Yes.
Right. Now again, watch my screen. What is the next important thing input is demanding is the K. Okay. Now this K, I told you we need a ranking, that is 1, 2, 3. We need that. But how to generate the same in the formula itself? So what we are going to do, we are going to add one more formula over here in this. What is that? Saying row, ROW, open parenthesis, close parenthesis. What it does, I'll tell you. Row formula is a formula whose basic job is to generate the row number as the answer. So what is the meaning by row number? If you look at my screen, which row I am typing this formula? Can you identify?
12.
So automatically my row formula answer will be generating as 12. Just see, is it giving me 12? Yes. But our K purpose, what is the first number we are expecting?
1.
So row formula is already giving me 12. I am looking for 1. Basic mathematics. What can be done? Minus 11. Can we do that? Right. Now bracket close, formula is ready. Only for a cell, but we need to apply for rest. What is the shortcut?
Control enter.
Control enter. So now can you see the beauty? Without taking the helper column, still we get the answer, and that is called your nested formula. So formula within formula. So large with row combination, how this is helpful to us, you can see the results. So please give it a try. Any difficulties, do let me know. So if you're done with the large one, try for small also. Any difficulties, can ask me. So I got a confirmation from Jay, Yash, and our Nikhil. How about others people? Okay, Vijay also done. Very good. Okay, Sanjay too. Rutuja able to follow? Okay, fine then. So considering that everybody is clear whatever we discussed about this vendor evaluation case, people, now we'll proceed to our next example, basic rounding up. Okay, so here let me take, yeah, yes, please.
Sir, in all, how many formulas does Excel have? Like these are few of the formulas means we can learn, but in all, in totality, how many must be the formulas within Excel, and do we have something from where we can learn each formula? Like what is the interpretation and when to use which formula, kind of?
See, the best help I can tell you, there is no such kind of ready-made repository anywhere in the internet. Also, you'll be getting that. So in the formulas list, if you talk about, this is the entire list of formula, different categories like mathematical, trigonometrical, text, date and time, logical. All these formulas are there. but you will not be using the most of the formulas. In regular activities, what you use or what you needed the most, we are going to discuss in this 16 hours program. That is for sure. One thing I can tell you, if you are not clear, okay, if you come across a new formula, say, take an example, rand between, I am using a rand between formula, you come across that, and you don't have any idea what rand between does for you. So what you can do, just on your screen, go for F1, a help command will be coming up. There you type the formula name, rand between. So automatically rand between function purpose, if you see, it will be giving you the list. So rand between, what it does, this is rand between formula returns a random integer number between the numbers you specify. A new random integer will number return every time the worksheet is calculated. So it will be the theory. How to write this formula? Syntax is nothing but how to write the formula. So this is what the bottom value, top value you have to define, and this is what a small example. So this is what the ready-made help command you have in your F1 key. So any formula, anything, suppose say take an example now, small formula. So small function, I just type, then immediately this will be giving the details of small function. So small function, what it does, like returns the kth smallest value. The number k is nothing but the ranking number, smallest value in the data set. Use these functions to return values with a particular relative standing in your data set. How to write it? A small example for that also. So this is how you can learn.
Okay, fine.
Right. Now, coming to the next, basic rounding off. So suppose I take an example, I have received a data like this from someone, and I'm going to send it across to next level to my boss. My boss is looking at the data and he's telling me, Prabhas, I am not interested watching the decimals over here. Why don't you just round up the data to the nearest one unit in the next column? So what my boss is expecting, if it is of 103.2, what is that we are presenting? How we are representing the same? 103. Do you agree? If I do not want the decimals, if I want to round off the data, this is what the answer. Do you agree?
Yes.
Now, if I go for 111.5, what should my answer? 112. Do you agree?
Yep.
This is what my boss is expecting from me. And this is what we call it as a logical round off. Now, how we are deciding one case, one unit down, one case, one unit up? We are not deciding that. That is depending upon the post decimal character. Okay, post decimal character. Okay, my audio is not. Okay, so is there anybody facing any trouble with regard to my audio?
No, sir, not for me.
No,
Not for me.
Okay,
not from your.
okay. Yes, kindly check your internet connectivity. If the problem persists, just log out and log in again. All right. So as we are discussing people, we are not deciding that it is depending upon the post decimal character. If post decimal character is 5 or more than 5, we go for 1 unit up. If it is less than 5, we go for 1 unit down. This is what the standard or logical understanding for the round of data we do for decimals. The same thing if I want to do in Excel. So what Excel does over here, let us go and have a basic understanding. Excel will be taking the help of a formula called M round. M stands for multiple. First 1 minute, watch my screen, understand what I'm doing. So M round is the formula which is Microsoft has developed some improvements they have made upon the round formula. So M round, M stands for multiple. Now what it does, number. So number from the prices column I have taken. Okay. Then it asks me multiple. Multiple has a different meaning over here. We are not going to multiply with any value. Multiple has a meaning. If you look at your data, 103.2 is there. Okay. Now, if I want to round off, suppose I don't know what is the post decimal character. If I want to round off to the nearest one digit, what will be happening? Either 104 or 103, either of this value, correct? For
Yes.
10, yeah, for 103.2, suppose say the data is there. 104 will be the upper unit. 103 will be the lower unit. So what is the difference between the upper unit and the lower unit? So that is what nothing but called multiple. So basically what in one simple layman language, if you want to understand, rounded off to the nearest one unit. So one unit up or one unit down, you can say. But technically one is nothing but the difference between the upper unit and the lower unit. So bracket close, formula is ready only for a cell, but we need to apply for the rest. What is the shortcut? Control enter. So we got the answer. So now this is how we have understood people that whenever there is a need, how to make use of this formula called mround. So this formula again, when designing the templates and all, this formula will be very helpful. So please give it a try and check mround is working for you. Yes, you can use that, Nikhil, definitely. As you said over here, suppose I am getting my answer in terms of over here, I can simply go for before small, I have to use mround. And the entire small value, whatever the answer returns, this will become my number. And then post small formula, I have to make the unit 1. So bracket close, control enter. So it will be always be in the rounded off format. So this is how you can use mround with any formula also to combine with. Hope that is clear.
Yes.
Right. Good. Glad you asked me. This is what the thing you have to think about. You have to give the connectivity. Okay, this can be done. So this is how you have to explore the things. Now, coming to the next. Same prices column is there, but my boss is now asking me, Prabhas, why don't you round up the data to the nearest 5 unit? So what is the meaning by nearest 5 unit? So 103.2 is there. If I want to answer in this cell, what will be my answer? Yes, people? Anybody? Though it is wrong, whatever you believe from the question, I have the prices column. I need to round it off to the nearest 5 unit. This is my boss is asking. So 103.2 purpose. What should be the answer?
For the multiple, we can use 5. The answer would be maybe 105.
105. So logically, what is going to happen? That is what we are asking. 87. What should be the answer?
90.
Are you sure? 90?
85.
85. So that is what my boss is expecting. So how to do that? See, equal to same mround, I'll go for it. Number from the prices column, I'll be taking it. Now 103.2 is there. What will be my upper unit? What will be my lower unit? That we need to understand. So I'll come back to that. First, let me take you through if it is not clear. Suppose say, take an example. I'm creating a scaling. Okay, I'm creating a scale of what, like 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, like a 5 skip count or 5 jump values, I create a scale. Now 103.2, if I'm looking at in which interval this is going to fall, is it going to fall between 100 and 105? Do you agree with me? If I create a scale of 5 skip count, is it the
Yes.
value going to fall in between these two?
Yes.
Right. Now for 103.2, which is the closest one? 100 or 105?
105.
So that should be my answer. So now 103.2 purpose, 100 will become the lower unit, 105 becomes the upper unit. Now what is the difference between these two in units?
5.
So that is what we are going to now put it across. So equal to same M round, taking the value from prices column, comma, the difference between upper unit and lower unit. Control enter. You got the data. So this is how multiple of 5, multiple of 10, anything you want, you can keep this formula ready, and whenever the user types the data, you will be getting the respective answer over there instantly. So this is how people, we can use this M round formula, which will be very, very helpful in any kind of templates, summary report, dashboards, anything you design, you can design it. Kindly confirm, is it working?
Hello.
Yep.
Yes, sir. The control enter is not working for me. Sridhar here.
It will work, Sridhar. Could you please share your screen? Let me see what is the where is the mistake you are doing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it visible?
Yeah, it's loaded. Yes, I can see that. Fine. So the problem is you are not selecting the whole range. As I told you, first you select your range. You delete 105. Yeah, select the whole range where you want to design your formula. No, no, no. Escape. Select all the gray cells. Yeah. Now leave your mouse, leave your touchpad, type equal to M round. Yeah. Then go to the number towards the left, comma, define multiple 5, bracket close, control enter. Okay.
Only we need to select all the column.
Yes, all the cells. All the cells. Yeah.
And one more thing, sir.
Yeah.
In this tab, you have added this, drop down. You can see here drop down, price 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How can you add that? Drop down?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Don't worry. That is there our part of curriculum. When the time comes, I will tell you everything. Don't worry about that. Okay. Yes. All right. Fine then. So I'm taking the control back on the screen. I believe everybody's clear with our decimal values, how to do the treatment for rounding of the data. Next, we'll go to our question number 4. We have a prices column where you could see the data is of mixed nature. Like what is the data of mixed type? Like we have got some positive, we have got some negatives as well. So now looking at the same, my boss is not happy. And what he's telling me, Prabhas, why don't you do one thing for me? Just bring the positive values alone in the next column. I don't want to see the negatives. Just get me the positive values. So how will I do that? First of all, the moment we look at our data, how do you understand whether it is a negative one?
The bracket one is
Simple. If the data is there in kind of brackets, the parenthesis, or if it starts with a dash or hyphen symbol, this is a negative one. If none of them is available, it's a positive one. It's a simple understanding by looking at the data. Do you agree with me? Right. Now, if I ask you, please logically decide whether the value is positive or negative, what we do? Logically, if I want to decide, we go and check each and every value. If it is more than 0, it's positive. If it is less than 0, it's negative. This is how we logically decide. Right. Now, the same thing, if I want to do it in Excel, how will I do that? So just 1 minute, watch my screen. Excel will be taking the help of a logical formula for logical calculations called if. What it demands me, logical test. So logical test purpose, I need to depend on a cell where I need to conduct a test. What kind of test? Is it greater than 0? So this entire stuff becomes my logical test for my if formula. Now, come on. When we are doing a test, we may get success, we may get failure also. So that is what it is asking. Value if true, if the test is success, if the value is more than 0. So in the next column, which value you are expecting? The same which you are doing a test, comma. Value if false, if the test fails. What does it mean then? The data is not more than 0. So definitely if it is not greater than 0, it will be definitely less than 0. So that value we do not want in the next column. So some treatment should be there in the next column. 0, hyphen, nil, not available, not applicable. Anything you want to write, you must write within 2 double quotation marks or double inverted commas. But we want to retain this cell as blank since we are working with a template. So for blank purpose, how to define two immediate double inverted quotes? People always commits a mistake over there in this area. They define two double inverted comma, but they define a space in between that, and that creates a trouble. So never ever use any kind of space within two double inverted comma if you want to retain the cell as a blank. Now bracket close, formula is ready only for a cell. Need to apply for rest. Control enter, we got the things ready. So with immediate effect, you could see a simple logical formula of like if, how it is giving the result for us. So please give it a try and check if formula is getting the result for you. Okay, I got three confirmation. How about others? Kindly keep your mic on mute. Anybody's mic is on. If you have any questions, you can ask me, no problem. Okay, so here again, the solution what we have received. Are you happy with that? Yes, people. As I told you, I'll keep on asking this kind of questions a lot in this 16 hours program. Dilip, keep your mic on mute. Dilip. All right. So what's your answer? Can I take that? Are you happy with the solution?
Yes.
Okay, good one. So this is what people, our experts recommend us to do the job like this. Though we got the solution, but I don't recommend this. Why? The simple thing, the moment we started the training program, I told you the first and foremost challenge while working in Excel is about the file data management or file space management. So remember one thing, friends, the moment when you work with Excel formulas, the more the if formula in any Excel file, the file size will be heavy. So if formula should not be your first choice. In a worst case, if there is no other help you have, then you want to go for a formula, then go for if formulas because it always occupies the more space and the file will slow down the process and you will be facing a trouble. So now, if this is not recommended, then what is the alternate solution for this? How to make my formula crisp? How to keep my formula in the reduced characters fashions? Let's see. Just 1 minute, watch my screen. I have an alternative column. I'll be using a formula called max. We know the uses of max formula, where to use, what it does. Anybody?
It will give the max value in a particular set of data.
Very good.
Rows
Absolutely.
that we select.
Rows or columns, anything you select, it will be finding out the maximum value in a range. Well, so what it demands me, number one, I will take the prices columns first value. Okay, comma. Number two, what is that we are going to compare with? So the moment we started comparing our data logically to find out whether it is positive or negative, which is that value we have compared with? We have compared with 0. So that's it. Formula is ready. So what we are doing now, we are asking Excel to perform a calculation that between the data and 0, which is more, that alone you return. So we are not discussing anything below 0 cases over here. Jobs becomes very simple. Formula is ready. Only for a cell need to apply for rest. Control enter. Now you see. Now you tell me, being a user, if you happens to see, which one you prefer to see, option 1 or option 2? Definitely. That will be anybody's choice, isn't it? So this is how people always, you have to be alert while designing the formula in Excel and make sure taking the reduced characters, number of characters, or keep your formula length very crisp so that the file size will not be heavy. In Excel, there are various ways to do a job, but we have to take the finest approach. So how will I consider something as a finest approach? Which doesn't make my file size heavy, which doesn't take much time to open the formula. So that formula I can consider as the best options. So this is how we have understood in our business maths, whatever the formulas, how to use it, though it is a basic calculations, but how to make some improvements on that, we are clear. So any doubt, any queries in business math sheet, people, anybody?
No.
All right.
One query
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
If you are not using the comma for the negative value and we are use negative symbol, then this formula is applicable.
No, no, comma in the sense where, in which case you are talking about?
If you get data 103.2, 99.2, this 99.2 is negative symbol, it's read with negative symbol. Then this formula is work.
No, no, no. 99.2 is already negative only. This is negative. This by default nature is negative single purpose. Either you can go for this kind of brackets or you can go for this hyphen. These are the default nature of understanding that the value is in negative.
Got it.
Yeah. So if it is there only, then only it can be classified. If it is not there, then how Excel will know? Because if there is no such kind of sign, it is simple message, these are positive.
Yes.
Right. All right, let's go for our next situation is called numbers challenge, the next sheet. So you can see that there is a set of data, like take an example. I have started working with a project on 1st Feb 2019, and the project is over on 26th April 2020. So my boss is asking me a question, Prabhas, how many days exactly you worked on that project? Please let me know so that I can make the billing to the customer accordingly. So my boss is asking is nothing but the business days or working days between these two setup of dates. So how many days I work in a week for my office? That alone I have to take it into consideration. So for that, we have got a ready-made formula in our Excel whose name is network days. So what it demands me, start date we do have, comma, end date we do have, formula is ready, enter. We got the answer. So this is how people network days is going to help you to bringing up your working days or business days between two setup of dates. So please check it out. Are you getting the same answer?
Sir, a question.
Yep.
In network days, is it counting Saturday and Sunday both off or only Sunday as off?
What do you believe?
I think Saturday and Sunday both are off in this.
Okay, then you are right.
Okay, so what if I need it for 6 days a week? मेरे ऑफिस में 6 डे वर्किंग है फिर
चलो वो देखेंगे, वो बात का सवाल है। मेरे मेरे पास एक सवाल है, ये आपने समझा, यू हैव अंडरस्टूड कि ये सिर्फ मंडे टू फ्राइडे लेता है या जो भी, बट हाउ यू वुड कन्विंस योर पीपल whom you are presenting the data, how you would convince them? Because in the formula nowhere it is being defined or nowhere the story is given. It always takes in from this to this date only.
right I don't know.
Right.
I don't have
तो ये है सवाल. तो basically network days formula, it is a standalone formula, always calculates or takes Monday to Friday only. This is how it is designed. It always takes 5 days in a week to consider, because this is a globally accepted formula. Like if you're working with an MNC, if you're working with an overseas partner, they work for 5 working days. तो उनके लिए बनाया गया है. This is a default. Now, when I presented the record in this format, my boss is not happy. What did he say? He said that, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
No problem.
Sir, if I have to just find out the number of total days between start date and end date, then
this is simple basic mathematics. End date minus start date, total 450 days.
Okay.
Right. So now, yeah.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah.
Right. Now, the question what is on over here, let's go and discuss that. Suppose I presented this record to my boss. My boss is not quite happy. Reason? He asked me, Prabhas, we engaged our resources in that project for 6 working days because we had to maintain the deadline. We have to meet the deadline. And within that deadline, we had to complete our work. So we have engaged the resources for 6 working days. So this is wrong. He's absolutely right. And he also mentioned that, Prabhas, we have never worked in the public holidays, August 15, January 26th, Ayudha Puja, or local holidays, festive occasions, Diwali, Dashera, anything is there. Those days also we have never worked. So kindly eliminate those days from the calculations. So how to deal with that if that kind of situation is there? So let's go and discuss the second example, exactly matching with our requirement. Compute the business days or working days where Thursday is weekly off. Matlab, in 7 days in a week, only Thursday I am not working, but rest of 6 days I am coming to office and work. This is the case. Then how to compute my business days? And these are the list of holidays where I have never served for my company. So if that is the thing I need to consider, then how to get my solution? So in this case, my friends, network days is not going to help us. We need to go for another formula of Excel whose name is network days.intl. INTL stands for international. What it demands me? Start date. We do have comma. Then it asks me end date. I do have that, comma. Then it gives me a small pop-up. In this pop-up, I need to select what is the day I am not working. So I'm not working in Thursday, right? So I have to choose Thursday only. So immediately right side, you could see Thursday is a weekend day. Declaration is also available given by Excel. And the number is assigned to that Thursday. What is that? 15. So I can write 1 5 manually, or I can double click on Thursday only. So it will be 15 will be added. Now, comma. Next, what it is asking? Holidays. So holidays is there in my right side of the formula. So I can use the right arrow key. Now, starting from D10 to D15. So Control Shift down arrow key. That's it. The moment I hit enter, I got the answer. So this is how people, any point of time, to find out your working days or business days between two setup of dates, you can make use of this network days international. And you go for this and check, are you getting the answer? If at all any questions running in your mind, feel free to ask. Well, is it working for everyone? Any doubt, any queries from anybody? All right. So this will be very, very helpful to calculate someone's efficiency, productivity, or if you have taken any machines on, suppose the rental basis, how many days exactly put to your use if you want to compute, there this formula is going to be pretty helpful. And the date related calculations, you have to always be pinpoint accurate. You cannot take an approximate of 1 day or 2 days less or plus or minus. That kind of things are not accepted. Now,
So,
yeah,
sorry, I had one more question.
please ask.
In the dates, one of the most irritating thing is the format of the date.
Right.
So, how does that impact the formula, and what is one format that will be compatible with most of the formulas?
See, ideally, there are two formats across the globe. It works. Nothing other than that you can work with. One is called DD, MM, YY. This is one. The other one, DD, YY. These are the two different formats you can work in Excel, ideally. Okay. Now, coming to the separator, when it comes, you can use a hyphen or you can use a slash, that two forward slash, not the backslash. So this is how these are the recognized formats in Excel with regard to the date. If at all any other format is there, then that is not complied with your date format. So first you need to do the data cleansing to bring the required format, and then you can start working with it. Hope it is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, welcome. I'm glad you asked that. That is also necessary. Anyway, so we'll go to our next example. Now, calculate the date of expiry of AMC agreements. So this is a very beautiful example. Let me take you through what is that we have. Suppose say on 11th December 2019, we furnished one agreement or contract with one of our vendor, say XYZ Limited, for HP printer. And the duration we fix of AMC called 16 months. So now the question is when this contract is going to be expired, we need to find out that. So how will I calculate this? So just take a look on this and manually compute that. What should be the date of expiry? Please tell me the answer. 11th December 2019 after 16 months.
March 2020.
March? Are you sure March?
April.
April 2020?
21.
21. What will be the date?
I am assuming 11, but it can be plus or minus.
That is what. So I told you when the date related answers we need to find out, we have to be pinpoint accurate. Right? So what do you believe? The answer should be 11 or it should be 10?
I think 11.
Okay. So technically it is supposed to be 11, but the contract we have to renew on 10th because up to 10th midnight 00 hours only the contract is live. And we are not going to work after 12 or 12:01 hours or 12:01 a.m. You are going to ask your vendor to come and renew the contract. So if you are working with a rotational shifts or 24/7 running plan is there, so definitely to be in safer side, before one day you have to renew the contract. So ideally I need to renew the contract on 10th of April 2021. Correct? Yes. So just imagine to take a particular case to find out the result, we took this much of time. Now just imagine when you open the file, there are 10,000 cases are there because you are the sole caretaker of your entire AMC of the organization. If that is the case, then how to deal with? Here, our experts that talk a lot, that tell different options. Don't go for this. I will tell you a very simple and precise way. See, first 1 minute, watch my screen. As we develop the practice, first I will select the entire solution array and then I'll go for equal to. There is a ready-made formula in our Excel whose name is eDate. E stands for electronic. What it demands me? Start date. I do have date of MC, comma, months. I do have that also. Now, when I go for this, control enter, I am getting the answer, but the answer is in a different format. So how will I know which format it is? Any point of time, if you want to know, it seems like a number, but it is not in number format. So if you go to home, can you see? It shows me. What is that? It's in general format. So which format is there now? We have understood. But which format we are expecting? We are expecting a date format. So what we do, we go for right click, format cells, date, and we do a lot of stuffs. That is really a tedious process, unwanted, waste of time. Any point of time to convert any format of your cell to date format, Control, Shift, and 3 press together. Control, Shift, and 3 will be helping me to convert any format to date format. See the beauty? Immediately we got it. So this is how people, any point of time, if you have this kind of situation, go for a simple eDate formula and we learn the keyboard shortcut, Control, Shift, and this hash key generates me to convert to date format. Check it out. Is it working? So a simple keyboard shortcut, how this is helping us, we have got a simple understanding. So like that, there are so many keyboard shortcuts over there in Excel. If you are thorough with that once, trust me, you can save minimum of 1 hour time of yours in a day.
Is there a shortcut key which will give us the hours and minutes as well, along with the date?
No, there is no shortcut key because that is a long text basically. And if you want along with the date and your time and this hours, minutes, and seconds, you have to customize the format with custom format. Like say,
Okay,
take an example. If I want today's date, so today's date, you can get it with today formula. So it will be giving you today's date. But if you want the date and time as well, we have got another formula called now. So now we'll be giving date and time as well.
the control and R also works the same.
No, no, no. Control R for right, to fill right.
Oh, sorry.
Control semicolon.
Just a minute. I was using one and it was giving me.
No, no, no. Control semicolon. After L, see, I'm showing you. After L, the alphabet, you have got colon and semicolon. So if you use control with semicolon, it will be also giving you today's date. But this is what is happening over here. If you go for it, this becomes your data static. It will never get changed. But if you go for today formula, this will make your data dynamic. It will keep on changing. Whenever you open the file, whatever your system date, it will get updated. But this will become static. So that's the difference.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, people. So I believe this is clear. In Ytd formula and Control Shift 3, is it working for everyone? Any questions?
Sir, एक बार please वापस से बताइए ना. I got the data, but converting it into a date. एक बार और बता दीजिए.
No, no. Oh, which one? आपको कौन सा प्रॉब्लम में है?
ये एक्सपायरी डेट में जब हम ई डेट करते हैं तो
Okay.
डेटा आ जाता है, नंबर्स आ जाते हैं.
बिल्कुल.
कन्वर्टिंग इट इनटू अ डेट फॉर्मेट.
Right.
वो पार्ट वापस से बताइए.
हाँ बिल्कुल, बस उस डेटा को सिलेक्ट करो. आने के बाद सिलेक्ट करो, फिर जाओ कंट्रोल शिफ्ट एंड 3, तीनों को एक साथ प्रेस करो. कंट्रोल शिफ्ट एंड 3, ये जो ऊपर जो हैश की लगा हुआ है उस 3 को आपको करना. अगर आपके पास डेस्कटॉप है या 15 इंच का मॉनिटर लैपटॉप है जहां पे राइट साइड में भी एक नंबर की पैड है 1 2 3 दिखा रहा है, तो वहां पे काम नहीं करेगा. आपको हमेशा ऊपर से ही यहाँ पे लेना पड़ेगा. सो कंट्रोल शिफ्ट एंड द हैश की, द न्यूमेरिकल की 3 जहाँ पे हैश लगा हुआ है, तीनों को जब आप एक साथ प्रेस करेंगे तो आपका फॉर्मेट चेंज हो जाएगा डेट फॉर्मेट में.
जी ठीक है, थैंक यू.
Okay, welcome. Now, once we have done with these people, then our job is not done yet. There are certain risk factors still needs to be assessed. What is that? I'll tell you. अभी देखो, 11th April 2021, we have identified, no doubt about that. But what is the day it is going to fall? Is it going to be the weekday or weekend? We don't know. We need to still find out that. So here, now the next objective is how to find out a day from a date. Let's go and discuss. So first 1 minute, watch my screen. Go for equal to text formula. It asks me value. Value is nothing but my date of expiry, comma. What's the next one? Format text. So ideally date format we discussed DDMMYY or MMDDYY, where D plays the role of day, M for month, Y for year. It is predefined. Okay, we are not defining that. So we are looking for the day. So for the timing, what you need to do, you have to go for typing two double inverted quotes and within that D 4 times. Why D 4 times? To get the complete string of the day, like Monday, Monday. It will come only if you type 4D. What if I define 3Ds? It will giving only first 3 characters of the day, MONSUNTUE, like that. Now, is it case sensitive? No. Excel formulas are not case sensitive. You can write in drop caps, you can write in caps on also, no problem. Formula is ready only for a cell. Need to apply for rest. Control enter and see the beauty. With immediate effect over here, we got the answer. So this is how people, any point of time to extract a day from a date, this formula will be pretty helpful. So please go for it and check, is it working? Any questions, people? Anybody? So if day is clear, let's go and do some exercise finding the month and year as well. Let's do a hands-on practice. Equal to text, going for the data, comma, month. So we can define 4m's into double inverted quotes. Similarly for year, you can go for text, but that will be very lengthy. So don't go for year text formula. We have a ready-made year formula to get our result. So I can take equal to year, expiry date, and control enter. That's what I told you. Wherever it is possible, try to keep your formula length minimum. So these formulas will be very helpful whenever you download the data from SAP ERP, though it is IBM ERP or Oracle ERP, you'll be having only a date column. So sometimes we need to create some bucketing of data, or you want to classify the data in terms of your months or in terms of years or in terms of day. You have to keep creating those columns, and this formula will be helping you out to create those columns. Now, once we have done with this, let us go for our next example over here. Let me take you through what is that we need to do. See, we have got some invoice numbers and we have got some invoice dates. Now take an example. Whenever we are selling a product to our customer or providing a service to our client, we collect some GST from them, and that GST amount, whatever the tax component we have collected, we have to pay it to the government. And definitely that to be in stipulated time. It's not like whenever we wish we can make the payment. So now the question is over here, if I raised one invoice on 16 June 2015, the tax collected, whatever the amount, is due for payment by 5th of the next month. So the due date would be 5th July 2015. Similarly, for 14 December 2015, what will be the due date? 5th January 2016. Like that, those due dates we need to identify so that we can make the payment on or before the due date and we can avoid the penalty for the delayed payment charges. That is the objective. So how to compute the due dates? That is what the question. Hope the question is clear.
Yes, sir.
Right. So give me your best opinion on this, how to do that. Forget about Excel. If you had to do this job manually, how will you do that? So what we do in that case, people, if I happen to do this job manually, first I need to identify the invoice date belongs to which month is of June. What is the last date of June is of 30th June. Then I need to add 5 more days. So 30th June plus 5. So 5th July will automatically come. Do you agree with me? If I like a layman, if I want to work, I'll be doing like this.
Yes.
Now the same thing you have to do it in Excel only, nothing much. But where is the problem? If that is so easy, so simple to calculate, then why it is so troublesome in Excel? The reason is month doesn't have the standard number of days. Like if you talk about month, somewhere it is 28, somewhere it's 29, somewhere 30, 31. And this is where the challenge. So having said all these things, if I need to answer these questions over here in Excel, how will I do that? See, there is a beautiful formula over here called EO month, end of month. So what it demands me, start date. I do have invoice date, no issues, comma, months. So here you need to understand certain things. Please stay focused. Months. So in our invoice date, the start date, what is that month belong to? June. So if I'm looking for June of end of month, June month, end of month, then I have to go for 0 because I'm looking for June month. So 0 stands for current month. Now, if my invoice date is of June, I am looking for next month of June, last date. Say June purpose. What is the next month? July. So I should go for 1. So 1 stands for next month. If invoice date is of June, I am looking for the previous month last date. Say for June, what is the previous month? May minus 1. So this is what the significance of typing 0, 1, minus 1. So since we are looking for only current month as per the start date, so 0, control enter. Can you see in all the cases, the last date of the month perfectly, it has been calculated. But to find the due dates, what I need to do? After end date of the month, 5 more days to be added. So plus 5 is nothing but 5 more days we have added to the solution. Control enter and you got the solution ready. So this is how people, this formula will be pretty helpful whenever you go for your calculations for maintaining a trackers or aging analysis, anything you do over there, this is going to work. So now the question, 3 things over here we have discussed. 1, 0 stands for current month. Then 1, it is for next month. Minus 1 is for our previous month. Check it out. Is it working? All right. So this is about our date related problems, how to solve those kind of situations. We have seen that. Now we are going to discuss some timestamp related calculations. Most of the time this also helps us. So let's see how to work around. Say, take an example. The moment we come to office in the morning, say 9 o'clock or 9:30, whatever it is, we have our biometric system in the office where we punch our finger and the time is being captured in the back end of the machine like this. What is the format? The format is hours, minutes, and seconds. So this is globally accepted format. Anywhere you go, the time is being captured in this format. Similarly, when I'm done with the day and I'm about to start from the office, again we punch our finger in the time out machine where the time is being captured in the backend like this. Now, if I'm more curious about this to know what is that timeline I have served for my office for the day in terms of hours, minutes, and seconds, how will I compute that? And what we do in that case, we apply a standard logic. What is that? Equal to logout time minus login time. Do you agree with me? Now, when you go for this, sometimes we get our answer, sometimes we don't. And where we don't get the answer properly, suppose say somebody is coming to office at 8:30 p.m. in the evening. Say, take an example, I'm working in rotational shifts and I have done the whole night work and I left the office very subsequent day 5:30 a.m. in the morning. Then it is unable to calculate there. So do you think that I need to maintain three different formula for three different shift people to compute the timeline or the difference of working hours, something like that if I need to compute? No. Excel never recommends for that. So technically we should have one formula in such a way, irrespective of any shift people turn up, immediately it should give the answer. So here, our experts again take you through different formulas, functions that tell you to go and change the format. Don't do anything on this. How to get the solution, I'll tell you. See, simple basic mathematics, nothing much. We know how many hours in a day? Yes, people?
24.
24. I will take that. Equal to 24. First 1 minute, watch my screen. Minus the time I have logged into office, I will deduct, plus the time what I logged out. Simple, basic mathematics. Now, the moment I hit Control Enter, can you see that? Exactly, pinpoint accurate will be getting the answer. So whichever the shift people turns up, I am getting my exact answer. So this is how people, any point of time, you want to calculate your overtime, idle time, or breakdown hours, or anything you want to compute, you can compute in this fashion. Check it out. Is it working? Any questions? Please feel free to ask.
सर एक क्वेश्चन है
हाँ पूछिए.
ये जो सेल्स हमने यूज किए वर्किंग आवर्स लॉग आउट और लॉग इन टाइम ये सेल्स पहले से ही फॉर्मेटेड है फॉर टाइम यानी आवर्स मंथ्स और सेकंड्स का दिखाने के लिए
राइट.
इसीलिए हमें इजीली ये आ गया है. अगर ये फॉर्मेटिंग नहीं होता तो गड़बड़ हो सकती है, राइट?
गड़बड़ देखिए, फॉर्मेटिंग गड़बड़ हम नहीं कह सकते, उसका आइडियल वर्ड हम ले सकते हैं. देखिए मैं आपको बताता हूँ कुछ चीजें. जब हम एक्सेल में काम करते हैं, ठीक है, एक्सेल अपने फॉर्मेट में डेटा को पहचानता है. सपोज मान लो मैं आज का डेट डालता हूँ. ये क्या है? ये है डेट, एक फॉर्मेट. इसको हम बोलते हैं डेट फॉर्मेट. ठीक है, पहले समझ लो आप जो मैं बता रहा हूँ. यही चीज, यही वैल्यू अगर मैं देखना चाहूंगा टेक्निकली, ये क्या कहते हैं हम, इसको हम बोलते हैं जनरल फॉर्मेट. आज का डेट का एक्चुअल फॉर्मेट ये है जनरल फॉर्मेट. तो डेट एक फॉर्मेट है लेकिन उसके पीछे एक नंबर एक्चुअली कैलकुलेट होता है, लेकिन ये नंबर की तरह दिखता है, लेकिन उसको हम बोलते हैं जनरल फॉर्मेट. ये समझ में आया?
जी सर.
ना, वही चीज जब हम बात करते हैं इसको हम बोलते हैं नंबर फॉर्मेट. कैसे पता चला नंबर फॉर्मेट है? क्योंकि डेसिमल है, पोस्ट डेसिमल 2 कैरेक्टर है और डेसिमल से पहले कॉमा सेपरेटर वाला वैल्यू भी लगा हुआ है। डू यू एग्री विथ मी?
जी।
चलो, यही चीज को अगर हम रेफर करेंगे फिर से, इसको हम बोलते हैं टाइम फॉर्मेट। वही चीज है, बैकएंड में वैल्यू वही है, लेकिन फॉर्मेट अभी चेंज हुआ, टाइम फॉर्मेट, इसको हम बोलते हैं टाइम फॉर्मेट। ठीक है। सिमिलरली वही डेटा को मैं यूज करूंगा अभी यहाँ पे, इसको हम बोलते हैं करेंसी फॉर्मेट। कैसे पता चला? क्योंकि देखो नंबर शुरू होने से पहले ही एक रुपीस का सिंबल है, इसको हम बोलते हैं करेंसी फॉर्मेट। वही चीज को फिर से अगर मैं इसको प्रेजेंट करूंगा, इसको हम बोलते हैं परसेंटेज फॉर्मेट। ठीक है। तो एक ही डेटा है, लेकिन उसका विंडो ड्रेसिंग जब चेंज होता है उसको हम बोलते हैं फॉर्मेट अलग अलग होता है, राइट? तो आंसर भले ही जो भी बने, यहाँ पे जो आंसर हमारा जो भी बना, ये फॉर्मूला डालने के बाद अगर आपको इस फॉर्मेट में आंसर नहीं मिलता है तो आप उसको चेंज कर सकते हैं। कैसे? सिलेक्ट करो डेटा, कस्टम फॉर्मेट में जाओ, राइट क्लिक फॉर्मेट सेल्स, कस्टम में जाके आप इसको चेंज कर सकते हो। ये टाइप बॉक्स में आप खुद भी उसको मैनुअली लिख सकते हो, तो हो गया फॉर्मेट चेंज।
ओके, मेरा ये सवाल इसलिए था बिकॉज अभी तो टाइम फॉर्मेट में है, अगर ये नंबर फॉर्मेट में होता तब भी 24 would be used as
एब्सोल्युटली,
तब भी आंसर सेम आता ना।
वही तो बोल रहा हूँ, वही तो इसलिए मैंने आपको समझाया।
अच्छा, ठीक
मान
है।
लो ये अगर ऐसा
आई
आता,
assume कि अगर वो नंबर
यस,
में होता तो शायद कुछ और ही आंसर
हाँ
आ
यही
जाता।
आंसर आते, यही आंसर आते। मैं देखो अभी यहाँ पे जनरल फॉर्मेट में डाल रहा हूँ, देखो ये अभी जनरल फॉर्मेट में है, तो आंसर ऐसे बनेंगे। तो आपको टाइम फॉर्मेट में डालना है, तो आप उसको टाइम फॉर्मेट जब चेंज करेंगे, कंट्रोल 1 में जाएंगे, टाइम फॉर्मेट में जब चेंज करेंगे, यहाँ पे एस सेकेंड्स भी डालेंगे, तो ऑटोमेटिकली देखो सैंपल डेटा आ रहा है टाइम फॉर्मेट में,
जी जी।
राइट? बस ये डिपेंड करता है कि आपको डेटा कैसा चाहिए।
ओके, फॉर्मेट कुछ भी आंसर सही आएगा।
राइट,
ठीक है,
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
गुड टू नो, थैंक यू।
यस यस, नो प्रॉब्लम। चलिए, तो आगे बढ़ते हैं दोस्तों। सो वी हैव गॉट आंसर दैट एनी एक्टिविटी हैपेंस विद इन 24 आवर्स टाइमलाइन, हाउ टू कंप्यूट द डिफरेंस। वी हैव गॉट अ सिंपल बेसिक लॉजिक फॉर दैट। What if any activity exceeds 24 hours timeline or more than a day? If that is the case, how to compute it? तो चलिए अब देखते हैं। We have got start date, we have got start time also, we have got end date, we have got end time. So suppose let me put the data in a story format. Suppose one tanker or lorry or container comes along with the goods to dispatch in our factory. So factory gate में वो report किया on 16th April 2018 at 9 a.m. It has gone inside the factory. It has unloaded the goods. And on 17th April 2018 at 11 a.m. it has gone outside of the factory. Now, being a department head or leader, it is my duty now to know how many hours it has taken to unload the goods. If I want to know, then how will I compute it? That is what the question. Just manually check and let me know how many hours it has taken to unload the goods.
Twenty-six.
So 26, 36, what exactly?
26.
26. Okay. So is it the call for everyone? Everyone is agreed with this answer? Okay, very good. So 26 hours is my answer. Okay, if it is of one particular vehicle case, we are just doing the calculations. We can manually calculate like this also, and we can get our accurate answer. Now, just imagine a situation when you look for the entire month records in the factory gate or security gate, you found there are 1000 vehicle movements happen during the month, and you need to compute those 1000 cases. How will you compute it? So this is the place where we cannot spend the time over here checking one by one. So how to use Excel over here, I'll tell you. Here again, people tell a lot, many formulas, but if you ask them, are you confident about your formula? They will say no. They will say you have to check and randomly find out the answer. So what is the point when the people, whoever designs the formula, they are not confident about the formula? So there is no point of taking their help. So I'll tell you very precisely, very easiest approach how to do this job. Simple. First, we need to create some helper columns like start, date, and time. For our better understanding, I'm creating. Similarly, go for end, date, and time. Start creating along with me. Then duration in hours. Now, once it is ready, then what we need to do? We have to go on typing the formula. Start date and time equal to start date plus start time. So whatever the format it turns up, don't worry, don't bother about that, but ensure you are taking the right cell references. So start date and start time is ready. Now end date and time equal to end date plus end time. Now coming to the duration, we know standard logic equal to end date and time minus start date and time. So it will be giving me answer in terms of decimals. You can see also on your screen 1.0833 and all it comes over here. But technically, how to present the same in terms of hours of 26? See, any point of time, if you want to convert any decimals or numbers into number of hours, the best thing what you can do, as we know basic mathematics, in a day, we have got 24 hours. So simply multiply by 24. And the decimal value, whatever it is, it will be turning up into a hours. See? So this is how people, even though you have got 1,000 cases, no issues, no worries, you got your result.
So why we have not used the 24 hours formula out there, the one that we just used before this?
We have used there, right?
Yeah, we have used it there, but then why we have not used it for this example?
Because this is more than a day, more than 24 hours timeline this is. That's what I told you the moment we started the discussion. If any activity within 24 hours timeline, this is what the formula. If it is more than a day or more than 24 hours of actions, if it is there, this is the way you have to compute it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right, people. Hope it is working for you. Any doubt, any queries?
हेलो
Yep.
सर अगर हमको एक रो में और या एक कॉलम में पूरे मंथ के डेट्स डालने हो तो वो कैसे डाल सकते हैं हम?
पूरे मंथ के डेट्स एक कॉलम में बिल्कुल डाल सकते हैं. देखिए, आज का डेट सपोज मान लो मुझे यहाँ से लेना है, आज के डेट से लेके 31 दिसंबर 2022 तक डालना है. इफ आई एम राइट, जो आपने पूछा, करेक्ट?
यस यस.
तो एक ही कॉलम में डालना है, राइट? तो चलिए, जहां पे आपने बनाया डेटा वहां पे रखो कर्सर, पहला डेट. फिर यहाँ पे होम में देखो एक ऑप्शन मिलता है फिल. होम में इसमें आता है फिल सीरीज एक ऑप्शन. उसमें जब क्लिक करोगे इट विल टेक यू टू ए डायलॉग बॉक्स लाइक दिस, जिसमें ये पूछेगा स्टेप वैल्यू इज 1, लेट इट बी. स्टॉप वैल्यू, तो हमको कितना चाहिए स्टॉप वैल्यू जो हमने डिसाइड किया था, कहाँ तक? 31 दिसंबर 2022. मुझे बस एग्जैक्टली वही टाइप करना है, 31 दिसंबर 2022. स्टेप वैल्यू कुछ देने की जरूरत नहीं क्योंकि हमने वो फॉर्मेट दे दिया है, तो वो वहां से ही कैलकुलेट करेगा. लेकिन सवाल ये है, आपको डेटा एक कॉलम के अंदर चाहिए, एक रो में के अंदर चाहिए. सो हमने डिसाइड किया कॉलम, तो यहाँ पे चेंज करना है कि सीरीज कहाँ पे चाहिए, कॉलम्स में. ओके किया, आपका डेटा रेडी. स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम 13 अगस्त टिल 31 दिसंबर. एक ही कॉलम में, right?
Okay.
Right. So this is what our numbers challenge people over here. So we have done with that. Any questions in this Excel sheet what we created? चलिए.
Yes. बेटा रहेगा और उसके बीच में 18-24 आवर्स रहेगा, फिर कुछ केसेस अबाउट 24 आवर्स होगा, वैसे कैसे करना है?
बिल्कुल, वहां पे भी कोई दिक्कत नहीं. अगर आपका ऐसे कुछ है चीजें तो नो प्रॉब्लम. एंड डेट एंड एंड टाइम तो होगा ना, वही डेट का ही होगा बस. हाँ, डेट चेंज नहीं होंगे, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, आप आराम से ले सकते हो.
तो मल्टीप्लाई बाय कैसे होगा? मींस मल्टीप्लाई बाय 24 ही होगा क्या? विथिन 24 रहेगा तो
दैट इज विथिन 24 होगा. यहाँ पे क्या है, डेट एंड टाइम के साथ है. डेट एंड टाइम के साथ है, तो अगर उसी दिन में ही वो काम कंप्लीट हो गया, जैसे कि 16 अप्रैल 2018 9 बजे शुरू हुआ, 16 अप्रैल 2018 5 बजे खत्म हो गया शाम को, सपोज मान लो, तो क्या हो रहा है, डेट के साथ टाइम दोनों को हम इंक्लूड कर रहे हैं. तो यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा था, एवरीथिंग इज ओनली वन डे, सो वी आर बिटवीन जस्ट वर्किंग टाइम टू टाइम. दो टाइम के अंदर कैलकुलेशन चल रहा था पहले केस में. यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, डेट और टाइम के साथ दोनों को मिला के काम करना पड़ रहा है. तो वही फॉर्मूला वहां पे भी लगेगा, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, आराम से काम करेगा आपका.
ओके, थैंक यू सर.
वेलकम. चलिए, so with this we'll go for a short break of 10 minutes people. It's a bio break, come little bit of brisk you can have. So in my system it is 4:35 p.m. Again we will resume our session. So please have a brisk and come back soon, we'll discuss the rest. So I believe everybody is back. Could you please respond in the chat box why for yes, so that we can proceed with the next topic. All right, so before break, we had discussed about this numbers challenge, see the date and time computation, how to take it over here. Now we are going to discuss this next sheet is called data presentation. Okay, so here, let me take you through the data, what we have with us. Let's have a small discussion on this, then we go and start working with this together. Nowadays, what it happens, people, whenever you present your data in terms of numbers, of course, Excel, we deal with a lot of numbers only. But that numbers alone is not enough nowadays. People are having different expectation. So what people are expecting, that you should present your data in such a way it should be more informative. So from the regular presentations, whatever you do, apart from that, what else you can present it? That is what people are more interested to see. So in one line, if I want to say, if you want to make a difference at your workplace, you have to exceed the expectation of the people. So whatever people are expecting, what you can present, that matters the most. So now let's go and discuss one example. Suppose my boss asked me, Prabhas, get me the entire revenue data. So what I did, month wise, product wise, whatever the Excel sheets I have prepared, everything I have opened, and this is the final summary I have made it. Now whatever I have prepared, this is ready for dispatch, no problem. But that is what anybody's job. Anybody can prepare something like this. Nothing extraordinary over here. So now the question demands what else I can present it so that it will be more informative. What else I can add it so that it will be a value additions to the my work, or what else I can present it when I go and showcase to the people. My audience would be happy watching my presentation and they will be giving a compliment to my work. That is what we are going to discuss. So now kindly look at the data and tell me what else can be done. Yes, people, give me your best opinion. Though it is wrong, whatever you feel.
We all use Expiry to chat.
Yeah, we can go for the graphical presentation. So entire 12 months data, we can make it as a line, column, bar, pie, whatever. We can make a graphical presentation. Yes, accepted. What else?
Convert the number into the currency because it's revenue.
Yeah, it is already there. Revenue in terms of USD, already header is declared USD. So I don't think that will
Okay.
be a value additions to the work. But if yes, you can want, if you want, you can do that. No problem. Well, anything else? Anybody?
So इससे तो बहुत कुछ निकल सकता है जैसे कि which month was my revenue the maximum, कौन से महीने में मेरा revenue कम था,
बिल्कुल. तो maximum
so
revenue.
minimum maximum निकाल सकते हैं. Graphs है, we can show a graph on how the revenue has been throughout the year.
ठीक है, ग्राफ हमने डिस्कशन किया ऑलरेडी. तो एक चीज हम आपने जैसे कहा, मैक्सिमम एंड मिनिमम रेवेन्यू हम उसको अलग से दिखा सकते हैं, हाईलाइट कर सकते हैं कलर को, मैक्सिमम ग्रीन में, मिनिमम को रेड में, ऐसा दिखा सकते हैं. ओके, बहुत बढ़िया. और क्या कर सकते हैं? एनीबॉडी?
Quarter 1, Quarter 2.
That is just a mere bucketing of data. That is not going to be value addition. But yes, if you want, you can do it. But I don't think there is much of value addition to that.
We can set target for the particular month, and up by reference to the target, you can show the actual performance.
Okay. But Nikhil, if you have a target, then only you can do. We do not have a target, right? We have only two columns, month and revenue.
Maybe we can.
Yeah. Go ahead.
हर क्वार्टर में कंपैरिजन होगा, ये क्वार्टर में इंक्रीज है कि डिक्रीज है.
So that is what I'm telling. Quarter is just mirroring a bucket. Rather, you can say month-wise comparison we can make. Month and month, Jan to Feb, Feb to March, March to April kaisa hua. So rather making a comparison of the quarter, we can make it as a month. That's more ideal, more better. Yes, we can do that. So month and month comparison ho sakta hai. Bahut badhiya. What else we can do?
We can calculate average income for a month.
Okay, so whole year's average, you can take it, and average, you can take it as a base, and you can start comparing. Okay, that is again, that's your interpretation. But ideally, nobody calculates the average and compare this. All right, no problem. So thanks for participation in the discussion. But technically, are we presenting all these things while I am presenting my data? That is what the call we need to take. Whatever we discussed, all the things are needed. All these things are needed. But are we really presenting our data in that fashion? Though we know these are really needed in our data, but we never present it. That is what the factor. That is what the fact. And why we don't do this? Though we are aware of, see, I never told you a single thing. You only shared your views, all that points, right? But we never presented the data in like this, because unless and until it is demanded from the other side in an email format or bold letter over a phone call, we never present our data in that fashion. This is what we are committing a mistake. Do not wait for someone's call. If you believe this is going to be a value addition to the work, go ahead with that. Don't wait, somebody should demand and then you should fulfill the result. So this is how you can always take an extra leap. You have to leave your comfort zone and you have to start presenting your data. Then only your data presentation will be definitely different from others. Trust me. So now let us go and discuss on this point. So how to start with any data. If you look at everything you told, but one thing you have missed out, data doesn't have a total. We must have a total. How to make a total? Keep your cursor in total. Shortcut we discussed in the initial phase. Yes, Yash, what is the shortcut?
Alt is equal to.
Very good. Go for it. And you got your total. Can you confirm everybody has got the total as 33,715?
Yes.
Right. Now, suppose say this is what I am presenting to my boss. My boss is quite happy the way I have presented. He might be happy looking at the billions, millions, lakhs, and crores. But the same data, when we are presenting to our management, they are not really interested watching your billions, millions, or lakhs and crores of data range over here. They want to see the revenue data, but in terms of percentage. So our next column has to be revenue percentage. Let's go and create that. Now, what would be the formula for revenue percentage calculation? So we can go for simple, just 1 minute, watch my screen. Taking the Jan month revenue has to be divided with the total revenue. Do you agree with me? But when I copy this formula towards down, only my revenue cells should move down, not the total revenue, right? So what we need to do with that?
Freeze.
And to freeze F4. So we know that the moment we go for this here, we need to present our data in terms of percentage. We go for multiplying by 100 again, not necessary. Do not extend your formula with by unwanted characters. So with this, we complete our formula. Now, it gives me a result, no doubt about it. It is in terms of decimals, but we need to present in terms of percentage. So any format, any point of time to convert into percentage format, Control Shift 5. I repeat, Control Shift 5 will be helping me to convert any format to percentage format. Check it out. Yes. Now the same formula we need to apply for rest. Double click on the fill handle. And the moment we go for total, is it giving me 100%? Yes. So this is how people, we have got another column ready over here as a value addition to the data, naming called revenue percentage. Check it out. Confirm.
Yes.
So revenue percentage, is it clear for everyone, people?
Yes.
All right. Now, what else we can present? So as we discussed, we can showcase the data month and month comparison, like Jan to Feb, how is it? Feb to March, how is the status? March to April, are we increasing the revenue? So those things to present it, we should have one more column naming called growth. So let's create a column naming called growth. And what would be the formula for our growth column? Simple. The moment we started our operation in the month of January, do you have anything before January to compare with? Do we have anything before Jan to compare with? No. So since this is the first month, the growth for month Jan is nil. Now, the moment we come to Feb, we have got something to compare with. So what should be the formula for growth of our February month equal to Feb month revenue minus Jan month revenue? Do you agree with the formula?
Yes.
Now, once I go for hitting enter, I got something. So it is showing negative. So it is a simple message from Jan to Feb. When I go for it, my revenue is in decreasing trend. Yes. Now the same formula I can apply for rest. That's it. My growth column is ready. So growth in terms of value, maybe my immediate boss would be happy watching the same. But when I'm presenting my data to the management, they don't want to see the growth in terms of billions, millions, or lakhs and crores. They want to see growth, but in terms of percentage. So our next column requirement is to prepare a column naming called growth percentage. So let's create a column, growth percentage. So what would be the formula for growth percentage calculations, people?
Growth in absolute terms divided by the previous month's revenue.
Not in the
So
absolute
maybe
terms.
this is
Uh-huh.
wrong, but minus 178 को खाली percentage में convert कर दो using shift control and 5. Is it wrong?
No, it cannot be. देखो, as we discussed, growth for month of Jan is nil. Growth percentage also will be nil, ideally. Yes or no? Now, the moment you go for February month, equal to whatever the growth you have identified in the month of Feb, that should be divided by the base month. So what will be my base month for February month, which data we compare with in the month of January? So do you agree with the formula?
Yes.
Now, the moment I hit enter, answer comes in terms of decimals, and we know how to convert any format to percentage. What is the keyboard shortcut?
Control Shift 5.
And we got the result. Now the same we need to apply for the rest. So this is how, people, we have identified our growth percentage column as one more value additions to the existing data. So please give it a try. Check, is it working? So if at all any questions, anybody is not getting the answer, need my support, do let me know. So all clear so far?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now, what else we can do with this piece of data to make it more informative? See, now the beauty is just, I would like to show something. Just watch my screen. The moment I have completed my business for the first month, let's say January, and if I ask me something, somebody asks me, because what is the revenue you have made? So I will say the answer, 3963 US dollar. Okay. Now, if the same question people ask me after completing the business for the month of Feb, what will be my answer? I will not tell only the Feb month revenue. I will tell Jan revenue plus Feb revenue. Similarly for March, Jan plus Feb plus March. For April, Jan, Feb, March, April, we have to combine together. What do you call all these things? We call it as a cumulative or accumulation of the data. Do you agree?
Yes.
Right. So this is our next objective. So I need to create one more column taking the data in a cumulative fashion. But when I'm using the same in a corporate reports, people, so corporate reports purpose, you need to use the proper corporate jargons. And This cumulative value, you cannot just define cumulative or accumulation of the data. You can simply name it as YTD, year to till date. So what would be the formula for YTD calculation? Let's go and discuss. YTD calculations. Since Jan is the first month, so first month, whatever the revenue will be nothing but the Jan month YTD. Do you agree with the formula? Whatever the Jan revenue, the same thing will be the Jan month YTD.
Yes, yes.
Right. Now, when I go to Feb, the formula would be equal to Jan month YTD plus Feb month current revenue. Do you agree? To make it cumulative.
Yes.
The moment I hit enter, can you see that now? The data becomes 7748. So Jan plus Feb, whatever it is there, now it is matching with my records. 7748. So now my formula is ready. Need to apply for rest. Double click on fill handle. Now, how will I know I am in the right track? The moment I reach to my December month YTD, is it matching with my total revenue? So we are in the right track. So this is how people, you need to confirm, or you need to add one more column naming called YTD. So please check it out. Is it working? Confirm in the chat box. Y for yes. Now, once we have made it, YTD in terms of value, maybe my immediate boss would be happy watching the same. But when I'm presenting my data to the management, they are not interested watching YTD in terms of value. They want to see YTD, but in terms of percentage. So our requirement is now to create one more column stating YTD percentage. So how to create that? Like, as we created, YTD is nothing but the Jan month revenue, whatever it is. Similarly, YTD percentage, can it be the Jan month revenue percentage we can refer? Like whatever the revenue for month of Jan is YTD value for the month of Jan. Similarly, revenue percentage for the Jan is nothing but YTD percentage. Can we take that?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, the moment I go for this next, equal to Jan month YTD percentage plus Feb month current revenue percentage, we can take it. Can you take that also? Like what we did for YTD, similar fashion only, nothing much. And the moment I go for this, whether the percentage is getting cumulative, 12 plus 11, is it 23%? Yes, we are getting that. Now, the same when I apply for the rest, if I go to December month, YTD percentage, is it matching with my revenue percentage column total? Yes. So we are in the right track. So this is how people, we have created one more column stating YTD percentage. So kindly check it out. So this is how people can imagine we had just only two columns, but this much of exercise is pending. So this is inherent by nature. Nobody will be demanding from you all these things. You have to present it by yourself. So it is not confined to accounts or finance. Anywhere you are working with, any department vertical you belong to, HR, production, planning, stores, consumption, anywhere you are working with, everywhere this kind of statistical calculations is very much needed. So any doubt, any questions so far?
No.
All right. So now, once our data is ready up to this state, then little bit of beautification or cosmetics works needed to the data, of course. So kindly select the month column completely like this. So beautifications, cosmetics works exactly. What does it mean? By applying some kind of color, isn't it? So to apply some colors, where we go, where we refer which menu options?
Well,
Yep. Where?
Font, home font.
Yeah, going to home tab in the home group. In home tab, we have got two options, fill color and font color, isn't it? What say?
Yes.
This is what mostly we apply, and we believe that this is the only word, isn't it? But that's not true. Microsoft has made a lot of improvements in the ribbon tab in the front end features. So it's not necessary all the time you have to depend with font and this fill color only. We have got more than that. What is that exactly? There is an option called cell styles. You can see if you go for it, there is a section themed cell styles. Okay. In that, the bottom line, if you see accent 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, it will be the high definition colorful options are there. You can make use of that a bit. And what's the beauty? The font color is automatically, it is the high contrast to the background. So you can take that. Similarly, the first row, I will select going to home, cell styles. I will take one more color. Looks good, elegant, something different from our regular font and fill color options. What say?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is how people, we have made little bit of formatting of our data to beautify the same. So now keep your cursor anywhere in the data set, go for Control A. Whenever you are presenting your data with having multiple columns, ensure that your data is having a feel of a table by applying the borders. So how to apply the borders to all the cells? We know we go to home, border, we go for all borders with the help of mouse. If you're okay, you can go ahead. But if you ask me, I would believe in working with keyboard shortcuts. So the keyboard shortcut would be Alt, H, B, A. So H stands for home, B stands for border, A stands for all border. So one by one, you have to press. No need to struggle by pressing all these three keys together or four keys. Just go for one by one. See, I have selected my data, then Alt. All the menu ribbon key activated. I have removed my finger. Then I have need to go to home. For home, which key is assigned? H. I have gone to home button now. In home for border, which key is assigned? B. So B stands for border. Then I need to go for all border. A is assigned. So I press A. So this is how one by one, when I press over here, Alt HBA, all borders will be applied. So both the options we discussed, whichever it is comfortable, go for it. But if you ask me, I would always insist go for keyboard shortcuts because formatting is something in our routine activities we'll do 1,000 times. So it's better to execute through the keyboard shortcuts. So first keyboard shortcut application and all borders application. Is it clear? All right. Now, once you have done with this, then select your data. Okay. One thing, always ensure that the latest style of tabular presentation, it says the first column of the table should be aligned to the left and rest of the columns of the table should be aligned to the center. So how to align to the center? Going to home, we go for our alignment section and center alignment. This is with the help of mouse. Else, we can go for a simple keyboard shortcut. Alt H for home, A for alignment, C for center. So one more keyboard shortcut we have learned. Alt for H for home, A for alignment, C for center. So center alignment purpose, the keyboard shortcut. Check, is it working? Now, once we have made it over here, what is the beauty of doing the same in Excel? I'll tell you. See, the thing, whatever you are taking care in Excel, sometimes what it happens, people demand. Looking at the same, okay, you have done a beautiful presentation in Excel. People demand to present the same in PowerPoint. So you don't need to struggle over there. Simple, copy your data from Excel, go to your PowerPoint, whatever you have over there, and simply you have to just go and do a right click, not many more activity. Simple, go for right click and go for image. So when you go for image over here, you can see it will be very easy for you to interpret your data, neat and clean format. You don't need to struggle anything over here. So this is how the beauty, if you do the things better in Excel, the same thing will be helpful when you integrate the same in PowerPoint. All right. So why and how these things is essential to make your data presentation better, making it informative in Excel. Now we have understood, we got some ideas. Any doubt?
No.
Fine. So how to make our data informative, we are clear with that. Now we'll go for how to make our data presentable. Okay. So same data, you can see month-wise revenue, it is there over here. Kindly select it, keeping the cursor Control A, kindly select the data. Okay. Now go to Home tab. We have an option called Format as Table. Format as Table. You see, if you open this, it will open with three broad categories: light, medium, and dark. Always go for light or medium. Do not go for the dark color, because the more the dark options, again, the file size will be more. So take the light or medium. So I'll take some medium option out of this. And if I click that with immediate effect, it gives me a dialog box like this. And when I click OK, can you see? A beautiful transformation of my data is going to happen. Alternate rows are highlighted and the borders have been defined with the top row and the bottom row, and headers are also properly defined with a background fill of some colors, and filter buttons are also embedded. So can you see instantly so many things are happening? Yes, people able to do that? Confirm, please. Home, format as table, light or medium, anything you can take it. Now, so let me take the story of ours, what we started with. Suppose this is what our friend Yash has presented to Jay. Jay is watching the data and he's appreciating the work delivered by Yash. And he's also telling, Jay is also telling that, Yash, I could see there are a lot of improvements in your presentation style. I'm happy the way you have presented, no doubt about it. But I'm a bit curious to know. Till yesterday, this kind of presentation I have never witnessed, but all on sudden, overnight, how come this much of changes? So Yash, what will be your reply if your boss is asking like this?
I'm sorry, I missed the first part. You're saying that I have presented it this way, and my boss is asking that how come suddenly so many of changes?
Yeah, till yesterday you have never presented like this, but all and sudden overnight, how come
Yeah,
such improvements in your presentation style? Jay is astonished and he wants to know the reason behind that.
I'll say thanks to you.
Okay. So what you'll say, suppose say anybody else in place of Yash will be there, they'll definitely say that Jay, I have told you several times, please nominate me for Excel training, but finally you have allowed me for the last training program. What happened? I have learned this all these things from the training program and able to implement it, and this is how the difference. So definitely, from the entire story, what you have understood, whatever you are learning, people try to implement in your routine activities, and trust me, people will love to see. And when you showcase those improvements in your workplace, so definitely, if it is a corporate training program, you will be allowed for many more training programs to attend. Because most of the time, what is the challenging factor in corporates? Also, training programs are happening, but we rarely get a chance to attend the training programs. And even though we get a chance, boss will be keep on calling and some or the other he will be giving this kind of task xyz something, or he will ask you, no, please come to that, this work is a bit urgent. Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
So जो भी आप सीख रहे हो दोस्तों, try to implement then and there, and that is the best way to register the things easily. Anyway, so now the question is, when boss is happy with my work, or boss is happy, suppose the way Yash has presented, boss is quite happy with that, what happens next? Yes, what happens when your boss is happy with your work? Yes, Hitisha. If your boss is happy with your work and he's complimenting to your work, or he's giving a appreciation to your work, what happens next?
There are two things that may happen. या तो salary में बढ़ाएगा या तो काम बढ़ाएगा.
तो पहला वाला भूल जाओ.
दोनों बढ़ेगा.
नहीं, workload बढ़ेगा.
That is what. So forget about the increment, promotion, or elevations to the next level that is due at the year end, provided you stick to the organizations, that is also there. So second thing is quite welcome. We can understand immediately the expectation level goes high and workload increases. And same thing happened with our friend Yash also. So Jay is asking now, Yash, you have given me the revenue data. That's fine. I want to know, to generate this much of revenue, how much incentives we have paid. I want to see that. Well, so one more column we need to prepare, naming called incentive. Let's go for it. And see the beauty. The moment you type incentive and hit enter, what happens? Can you see the difference in your screen? Similar formatting has been carried forward to the next column, isn't it? So have you ever seen while creating table, your format goes along with the table? Have you ever seen that? What we used to do, we go to home to apply the formatting. This option, format painter, we use it like anything. Do you agree with me? What say?
Yes, sir.
We are very good at using this, isn't it? But this is no more required since our data is in format as table option. So Excel is giving a helping hand. I am taking care to your formatting. Don't worry, you just take care about your data. So now coming to incentive. Suppose in our organizations we have a uniform policy. Whatever the revenue we generate, out of that 2% we declare as an incentive. So revenue data is ready. Incentive we need to compute. So how will I compute that? Simple, equal to taking the revenue data from the month of Jan. So you can see automatically it takes this kind of formula like at the rate symbol, square brackets, column header name. This is the default formatting. Don't worry about, don't be panic for that. Just use multiply 2%. And the moment we go for this and the moment I hit enter, see the beauty. It is not only applying to a cell, but also the entire column. So we don't need to go for copy paste the formula, dragging the formula, or doing the control D or control enter. So can you imagine how our speed is increasing because of that? So this is what the beauty of format as table option. So kindly confirm incentive column is ready. Now, revenue column is ready. Incentive we have computed. Ideally, it should be net revenue. The next column, let's go on prepare and immediately hit enter. Similar formatting has been carried forward. No problem. Now coming to the formula. What should be the formula? Basic mathematics? Anybody? Should be revenue minus incentive, isn't it? So equal to B24 minus C24. Do you agree with that? And the moment I hit enter, I can see the entire thing is ready. So this is how people, whenever you have the data, if you convert into table, so you can feel what is the beauty of that, of doing the same job, how to save our time, how to increase our speed while working over there. We could feel like that. Hope this helps.
बहुत ज़्यादा.
Yes,
Very helpful.
definitely. Literally. Once you have done with these people, the next thing what you need to do is we need to have a total. Still total is missing. You can see that. But technically, we don't need to create that total things over here. It is inbuilt there. How? I'll tell you. Keep your cursor anywhere in the data set. If you see, there is a table design or design button will be activated in the extreme right of the ribbon. Just check it out. Do you see a design or table design depending upon the version of Microsoft Excel? Right. Here, you can see there's an option called total row. This total row checkbox is not activated. You can activate the same and immediately in the bottom phase of your data, a total row will be added. But this will be showing the total only in the last column. Yes. What if I want to see my total for the revenue column? You can. How? Select your revenue column total cell. Can you see a drop down list is turning up? Yes. So if you click that drop down list, it will showcase you list of formulas or total what we do, which formula is ideal for total. And if I go for some formula, I'm getting my total. See, everything is there. Only thing is we need to customize according to the need. That's what the beauty of our format as table. All right, people. So we got the things ready. Any questions so far?
Just a curious question. We have used open bracket instead of parentheses for the formula in this? Is it because of the table format?
Yeah,
or it
it's a default
okay
format. We are not defining, we are not typing it manually. It's the default format.
okay.
Yeah. Yes, Nanda, which one you are asking me to repeat? The total row, how to add it? Is that the same? So keeping your cursor in the table anywhere, going to the last tab, table design or design will be there, something name. And there is an option called total row. This option. Checkbox is not activated. You have to activate this. And then you have to go and keep your cursor in the revenue column total cell. There is a drop down. You have to choose the drop down and choose the formula name called sum. And the total will be there. Hope you got that. Okay, no problem. So now, once we have done with this, next thing, what we can do, let's go and have a discussion. See, as I told you, whenever you have got multiple columns, make sure you are giving a feel of a table. Like by keeping the cursor in the header, any of the header, you can keep your cursor and go for Control A. Is it selecting the whole table? Yes. So why I have asked you to select in the header? Because to select the whole table. If you go and keep your cursor anywhere in the table data in between somewhere, it will not select your whole table. The bottom line or the top row headers will be missing. So this is the reason why you keep either in the bottom total or in the top header, Control A. So whole table would be selected. Now, what is the shortcut for applying borders? Alt HBA, or you can go to home, border, or all borders, whichever it is comfortable for you. Then, what is the next thing we discussed? That whenever you have the tabular data, you have to ensure that the first column should be aligned to the left and rest of the column should be aligned to the center. So first column is there aligned to the left, rest of columns kindly select and make it center. So how to make it center? Alt HAC, or you can go to home, alignment, center, you can choose, up to you. Right, people? Then one more thing over here is missing. You can see that our column headers, the data is not visible properly. The characters are not visible. This is one more trouble. And this is what most of the time it happens with us. When you copy the data from one Excel sheet to other, one Excel file to other, how do you get your data? With hash kind of symbols. And then what we do, we take our mouse pointer in the column headers and we keep on double click, and we keep expanding the columns. This is what a really a annoying activity, or it's a really a troublesome activity, or it's a waste of time, you can say. So how to manage the show? I'll tell you. See, you can select all these three columns, and basically we need to do an action of auto fit of column width. So how to adjust the column width based on the number of characters available? So there are two ways. Again, Simple keyboard shortcut, you can go for Alt, O for format, C for column, A for autofit. What is that? I write it. Alt, one by one, O for format, C for column, A for autofit. So autofit of column width. This is one. Else, you can go to home, there is a format, and there is also we have an option called autofit of column width. So whichever it is comfortable for you, I have gave you both the option. But if you ask me, I would always recommend go for keyboard shortcuts because that will be helping you to save your time. So this is how people, we have understood how to make our data presentable. So both the things are clear, how to make the data informative, how to make it presentable. Any questions, anybody? Now, once we have done with this, I will tell you one more beautiful feature of format as table. Just have a look on my screen, understand what I'm saying. See, whenever you have a huge data, say more than 1,000 or 10,000 records, and when you scroll down, you're unable to see or make out what is this column about. And we again come back and we see this is of net revenue column. If I want to come over from this problem, what we do basically, right, people? What did I ask? When you have a huge data, if you scroll down, if you are unable to make out what is this last column about, I have to come back to the initial phase. Then only I realize this is of net revenue column. If I want
Freeze
to,
first.
yes, we go for freeze panes. So to come over this problem, we go for always freeze panes. But that is again, freeze panes, I have to do it separately and it is again occupying more space of my file. So here, see the beauty, how when you have the data in table format, you don't need to go for freeze panes. It has the inbuilt feature of freeze panes. How? I'll tell you. I keep my cursor in table. Just watch my screen for a minute. If I scroll down, I will not take the arrow keys to move. I'll scroll down. Okay. Now, can you see A, B, C, D, all these alphabets is the uniform format for everyone. And the same thing is also displaying as a column header. So when I just go and take a little bit down, can you see now my column headers are changing? Is it no, it is no more showing A, B, C, D and all. It is now changing my table format as the column header over here in our extreme top line. So net revenue after that E is there. So A, B, C, D is no more visible. My table headers now becomes the column headers. So this is what the beauty, because of all these options you could see now, table format purpose, since it is there, I don't need to go for doing the free spend separately. All right. So this is how you can work around with our format as table option. And this is essential whenever you go for next level of learning of Excel. Anything you do, like next level of learning, Power Pivot, Power Query, Power BI, if you want to learn, unless and until the data is converted into table, you cannot work. So formatting as a table option is very, very essential. So we have seen a glimpse of that and how it is useful. Those things also we have seen. So going forward, whenever you are working with your normal Excel data set, always convert into table. That's the story of our data presentation sheet. Any questions?
No.
Fine. Now, let us go to our next sheet called date calculation. Okay. So here, let me take you through the data what we have with us. Suppose say there are few employees who are working with me. Those employee codes are there with me. Okay. My management has given me a task that Prabhas, whoever is working with you, please calculate their experience as on date and give us a report. This is what my management has given me a job. So I have their date of joining also with me. Now I need to find out their experience in terms of year, months, and days and prepare a report and submit the same to management. This is what the job. Now the first question, if this kind of things comes to me, I will be thinking, is it really my job? Isn't it? Calculating experience and all, whose job it is? Yes, people?
HR.
HR. So then why we are asked to do this kind of job? Or can you say no, that's not possible because this is management has asked me? So sometimes what it happens, people, though HR people, they have their own calculations, sometimes management decides to take the report from the respective departments. So finally, they will consolidate and they will compare the report or reconcile the reports. That's the reason why it has been asked me. Okay, fine. Now, how to do this job? So again, as I told you earlier, whenever the date related calculations to be done, you have to be pinpoint accurate for the same. So here also, we have to be very pretty accurate when you are calculating the experience over the people, right? So how to do it? Our experts, they will suggest you different types of answers. Don't go for it because that is again leave you with a question mark about the accuracy. So the best way how to get this job done, I'll tell you. There is only one way out. We can use a hidden formula of our Excel. Yes, there is a hidden formula also. So what is that formula name? Is called date diff. So here people over here, date diff formula, they do the wrong pronunciation. They believe that there is a if logical formula available. That's why they read it as dated if. But technically, this formula belongs to date family. You must read it as date pause diff. So date diff you have to read. And yes, this is a hidden formula. Since 1985 till 2021, this formula is hidden because of certain drawback. But trust me, there is a formula. And to prove that it's a hidden formula, I will show you something. The moment you take any formula in Excel, Excel giving a helping hand. What is this formula about? And if I go for adding the tab key over here, the open parenthesis, this also gives me an instruction how to write this formula. Whereas if I go for date diff, do you get anything? No, because this is a hidden formula. So since it is a hidden formula and the instructions are not visible, we have to work together. So let's start working with me. So keep your cursor below to the year cell and type equal to date diff. Spell it properly, DATE DIF. And bracket open. So any date formula, how to start with? Any date formula, how to start with? If you remember, we have dealt with so many date formulas, right? What is the first input in the date formula we have taken, if you remember? No. What is the first input? Like your start date, end date, we have got inputs, right? Like if you see network days international, date, EO month, text, what is that first input we always take? Start date. Any date formula always starts with a start date. Okay. So let's go for our start date. Start date is nothing of date of joining. Do you agree?
Yeah. Yes.
Come on. Now, what is that next input? When you compute the difference between two setup of dates like network days international, what was the second input? Anybody?
End date.
So in our case, what is our end date?
Today's date.
So today's date, is it there somewhere?
No.
So do I need to create a column defining today's date? No. So there is a ready-made formula. Very good. There is a ready-made formula in our Excel naming called today. So we can take this. So this formula is predefined by Microsoft Excel, whose basic job is to generate today's date from our system date it will take, and it will generate today's date. So that is our second input. Today formula defining end date. Now, once we have done with this, second input is clear, comma. What is the next one? Third input is the column we are computing in terms of year. So our third input has to be the year component. So for the time being, take a blank cell above to the year and define the cell reference as D4, then bracket close and hit enter. So you can notice it will throw some errors to you. Reason we know, out of three inputs, only two inputs has got the values. Third one is defined to a blank cell. No problem. Go to that blank cell. As we know, our date format DDMMYY or MMDDYY. We discussed that also. D stands for day, M stands for month, Y stands for year. This is predefined. So to represent our year option, we can take the operator called Y. So Y is nothing but a text operator of Excel to represent my year. So now when I define Y over there in the blank cell, are you getting 13, everyone?
Yes.
So now what we have understood, though date diff is a hidden formula, how to write it? What is the role of today formula to generate today's date? What is the significance of typing Y to define our year? Any doubt, any questions?
So instead of, I mean, I understood why we used an empty cell and wrote Y so that it considers it as year. But instead of taking that, क्या हम directly Y लिख सकते थे formula में?
हाँ लिख सकते हैं
लेकिन open end commas करके Y कर सकते थे?
हाँ Y लिख सकते हैं लेकिन Y को दो डबल इनवर्टेड कॉमा के अंदर रखना पड़ेगा.
Okay. Take single Y. It will still accept it,
that is
right?
that is what I am telling you. Here also single Y ही लिखे हैं. तो यहाँ पे भी D4 के बदले आप लिख सकते हैं, ऐसे लिख सकते हैं, ऐसे लिख सकते हैं.
Okay. ठीक है.
Right.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So now we are clear with our date diff formula. Let's go for a hands-on practice finding the result for month with M, day with D, and let's go for practicing our formula is equal to date diff, date of joining, start date, today formula, end date, comma, Excel operator. Similarly, day also is equal to date diff, start date that is date of joining, comma, end date today's date, and then Excel operator. Hope it is working, people.
Yes.
Right. So we got the answer. But can we express our experience of the employee in this format? That my employees A003 is having experience of 13 years, 163 months, 4,973 days. Is it the right way to express? Yes, any answers? Yes, Itisha.
No.
Vijay, what's your opinion? Can we?
This cannot be taken.
Definitely,
No,
this cannot be
cannot.
considered. Yes. So, whatever the results we have got it, what is that about then? This is nothing but individual component-wise differences. Year-wise 13, month-wise 163, day-wise 4,973 days. So when we want to express our experience, when we go and combine years, months, and days, it should show me the entire experience. Or the other way, if you discuss in the month column, if you look at, we know one thing. Whenever number of month reaches to 12, it becomes 1 year. So if I ask you in this 163 months, how many complete years are there? What is the answer you will be giving me? What is that you will be doing in that case? We'll be going for a simple basic mathematics is equal to number of months divided by 12. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Now, when I go for this over here, what is the result I'm getting? 13.5833 and all. So 13 is nothing but 13 years. We have already taken to the year. That cannot be ever expressed one more time in the month category. Do you agree with me? 13 years
Yes.
we have already taken in the year. So balance 0.58 should be displayed in the month category. And to make it happen, go to our Excel operator. Instead of M, go for YM. YM stands for year to month, the incomplete month in a complete year. And the moment I hit enter, can you see that? Now this is showing me exactly the incomplete months in a complete year, and whatever complete years are there, it has been removed and it has been placed in the year category. Similarly, go to the day category, the Excel operator, instead of D, go for MD, month to date, the incomplete days in a complete month. And the moment you hit enter, this will be giving the result. So this is how we have understood simply by changing the Excel operator. This is already predefined. We are not defining something of our own. This is predefined by Microsoft Excel. That YM nothing but year to month, MD nothing but month to date. Check it out. Are you getting the same answer? Yes, people. Any queries? Anybody? The formula is same month and same date diff formula only. Nikhil. Date diff, start date, that is date of joining, comma today formula, open bracket, close bracket, and comma Excel operator.
I'm getting the error properly.
Okay, could you please share your screen? Let me have a look.
Yes.
Okay, open the formula. Date diff, okay. C6, comma today, comma E4. Huh. Why you are having a trouble, I could understand. See, go to your month, that M where you have written, just escape, escape.
Yes.
Go to M where you have written M, E4. Huh. There is some extra space, just see. Open the cell, you will be coming to know. Yeah, that is in the beginning. Go to the end, go to the end. Delete. That is what the mistake you are doing. You are hitting the space bars. That is creating a space.
Okay. Still it is showing.
No, 1 minute,
error.
1 minute, 1 minute. Follow. No, no, no. Don't do that. Don't do that. See, I will tell you how to recognize there is a space. If you go to the formula bar and manually edit like that, it will never be helping you out. Go for F2. Just press F2. No, don't take your mouse pointer anywhere. Leave the mouse pointer. Huh? Can you see now? After M, there is extra space.
Yes.
Now go for backspace. Go for backspace and enter.
Okay.
Can you see the result?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Similarly, go for date diff for day calculations also. Is equal to date
Yeah.
diff. Do it. Date diff, spelling. Bracket open, start date, comma, today formula, bracket open, bracket close, comma, Excel operator, enter. Here also you're getting error. I know. Same mistake. Right. Yes.
Yes.
Now go for changing M to YM. Go for changing, no, complete that steps. Go for changing M to YM. And MD to MD. Yeah. All right. I'm taking the control back on the screen, people. And I believe everybody is clear what we have got it through. So now the question is, once we have got this solution ready, we have got the employee's experience of only one employee. Now the same we can apply for the rest also by selecting the same. If I go and just double click on the fill handle or drag it down or copy paste, I am getting the problem. What is that? Except the first case, rest of cases it is showing error. We know the reason why it is error. Anybody can find out?
Yeah, we don't have the constant.
Right. So we have forgotten to freezing the data, isn't it? Like small and large case we have also discussed, and in the data presentation sheet also we discussed a lot over there, right? So here what we need to do, if you go and keep your cursor in the first error, then only you realize when I copy this formula towards down, my Excel operator starts moving down. So this is the trouble. So what we need to do, select the entire solution area along with the first cell. Then open the formula, which is creating a trouble. If you look at my screen, you can realize which is creating a trouble.
C6.
C6 is not creating a trouble. C6 has to go to C7.
D4.
D4 is creating a trouble. That's what I explained, right? When I keeping the cursor in the first error, when I show case, what is that it is doing? D4, why it is moving to year cell? So this is what creating a trouble. So wherever I am, the third reference should be always Y only. So D4 cells should not move down, but that is moving. So this is the reason why we need to freeze D4, control enter. Similarly, month, which is creating a trouble. Yes, people, in month, which
E4.
E4. So we have to lock E4, control enter. Similarly, for day, which is creating a trouble, F4, lock it, control enter. So this is how, people, we have understood how to rectify our formula and get our result. So kindly confirm so far everybody is clear.
Yes.
Now, Once you got your solution ready, I would like to ask a question as I have been asking you. Are you happy with the solution? These people?
Not up to the mark.
Okay. Okay. I am making the question more precise. If you're unable to take a call, I'm going to make your question more precise. Going to each and every column, editing the formula, locking the cells 3 different times and rectifying the formula. Are you comfortable doing the same? Now you
No.
can answer at least.
Time taking process.
Definitely. So this is what our experts, they do suggest us to do the job like this. But Microsoft Excel never recommends for that. Neither I do advise it. So now the question is over here, how to make some improvements on this. So what we did basically, my friends, the yellow colored cells area, the solutions, whatever we have designed, we are not supposed to do like this. So kindly select and delete. You must be thinking what kind of trainer you are, Prabhas. First you are telling all these things, we are giving our 100% to understand, then finally you are telling this is not recommended. Sometimes we need to understand from our own mistakes also. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Right. So what not to be done, we are clear. Now, how to make some improvements on that. So please start working with me. First step, as we develop the practice, select your entire solution area, the yellow colored cells, and go for equal to. Keep your mouse aside or touchpad aside. Go for equal to date diff, open the bracket. As we discussed, what is the first input? Date of joining. So when you take date of joining, what is the address it has picked up?
C6.
What is the role of C in C6?
Column.
What is the role of 6?
Date of joining.
No. No. As you told me, in C6, C is nothing but column. Similarly, what is the role of 6?
It's a cell.
Row.
It's a row.
Row.
Row. So what you have understood, cell is nothing but the intersection point of columns first, then row. Are you clear now?
Yes.
Fine. Now, just stay focused on my screen. Don't do anything right now. I will tell you when we are done, then I'll tell you. You can also do. Don't worry. First, understand. When I copy this formula towards down, C6 will start moving to C7, C8, C9, C10, and so on. Do you agree with that movement when I copy this formula?
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
when I see the movement, what is happening? Which one sounds common? C6, C7, C8, C9, C10. Which one sounds common?
C.
C.
Column.
So what we have understood, our data is not stopping with a cell, it is moving, but it is moving within a column. It is moving within a column. So when data is moving, and that too moving within a column, instead of locking the cell, we should lock the column only. And to lock the column only, we need to bring the dollar symbol before C, that is before column. And to bring the dollar symbol before column, hit your F4 key 3 times. Hit your F4 key thrice. Just do it now and check. Are you getting only $1 symbol before column? That is column C by hitting F4 key 3 times. Confirm?
Yes.
Right. So this is called column constant, column freeze, or column lock. So when I copy this formula towards down, C6 will definitely go to C7 since row is free. But when I copy this formula towards right, C6 will never go to D6 because column is locked. So this is what column constant. Can I take that? Everybody is clear with column constant or column locking or column freezing.
Yes.
Good. Next input is today formula. It doesn't need any kind of locking because the default nature of today formula is whichever the cell it goes, it will always create today's date only. So it doesn't need any kind of locking. Please define that. Hope this is also clear.
Yes.
Coming to
Yes.
Excel operator, that is D4. Now here, just hold on. When I copy this formula towards down, D4 should not move down. Do you agree? This is what the problem we have witnessed also in the previous case.
Yes.
But when we copy this formula towards right, D4 should move to E4 for month calculation. E4 should move to F4 for day calculation. So if you see the movement D4, E4, F4, which one sounds common?
4 sounds common.
Right.
And 4 should be left.
Right. So 4, what is 4? 4 is the row. So data is moving within a row. So when data is moving within a row, instead of locking the cell, we need to lock the row only. And to lock the row only, we have to bring the dollar symbol before row number. And to bring the dollar symbol before row number, F4 twice. F4 two times. And just hit it and check. Are you getting $1 symbol before 4? Yes, people. Can you confirm?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Now, what is going to happen in this state? If I go and copy this formula towards down, D4 will never go to D5 because row is locked. But when I copy this formula towards right, D4 will definitely go to E4 because column is free. So this is called our row constant, row freeze, or row lock. Now, bracket close. This setup was missing. Formula we have created only for a cell, but we need to apply for rest. What is the shortcut?
Control enter.
Go for it and check. See the beauty. Entire range is populated with our formula. So this is how people, you are supposed to design a formula in a table. So depending upon the cell movement, if something is moving in a column, you have to make the column lock. Or if something is moving within a row, you have to make the row lock. If nothing is moving, neither column nor rows, you have to make it a cell lock. That is F4 once. So hope you have understood now the uses of our dollar symbol in the formula.
Yes.
Right. So this is it for our date calculations, people. And this is it from our day one side. Any doubt, any queries? Okay. So before coming to the closure of the session, I would like to take some interim feedback. So anything is missing or anything we want, we can make some improvements in the upcoming session. We can do that. For that reason, I'm collecting the feedback, open end. So can we maintain the same speed for the rest of the session? Yes or no? You can put it in the chat box. Okay. Thank you so much for your response. Next question. Content is relevant, able to connect with my data, whatever I am explaining over here. Are you able to connect with your real-time data and getting some confidence to make the things better? Okay. All queries are clarified. Anything is pending from my side, or did I ask you to go for the end of the session to discuss something? Thank you so much, Idris. I am glad. Thanks for the compliment. चलो ठीक है. Okay, friends. So we are good to go. The same tempo will be maintaining for the rest of the session, but I request you, please practice well and be ready for the next level. This is very, very essential. I'm keep on emphasizing upon the same. So don't do that mistake of not practicing or taking it granted or kind of overconfidence. Don't be in that impressions also. Trust me, because these things what we are discussing, this is very, very essential. If you go for any other programs tomorrow for Power BI or any other tools, Power Query or Power Pivot, anywhere you are going to learn these things very much needed. Yes, as I have committed, by 8 o'clock tonight, maximum, it will reaching to your inbox, the session recording on Radha, don't worry. So I'll be dropping through email, and also in the group, I'll be dropping a message along with the link of the YouTube, and you'll be getting the same. So watch it and download the copy of the same on your local folder for the safer side. Tomorrow, if at all anything goes wrong, at least you should have the recordings to refer. All right. So anything from your side, people? Anybody want to share something before coming to the close of the session?
The project अगर मेरे को मेल बॉडी में कॉपी पेस्ट करना है अभी इतना होता तो आपने पावर पॉइंट में कॉपी पेस्ट किया था इमेज
कौन सा अनुराग आप बोल रहे थे? नहीं, आपका वॉइस ठीक से नहीं आ रहा है, ब्रेक हो रहा है मुझे.
हेलो, अभी आ रहा है?
हाँ, अभी ठीक से सुनाई दे रहा है, बोलिए.
डेटा प्रेजेंटेशन में जो टेबल है अगर मुझे मेल बॉडी में पेस्ट करना है तो लाइक वो भी स्मॉल फॉर्मेट में उसको बड़ा नहीं है तो मैं जैसे पावर पॉइंट में आपने पेस्ट किया थी वैसे ही करना है क्या? हाँ बिल्कुल. आपने क्या था लाइक एकदम छोटा फॉर्मेट में. हाँ, उसको हमने देखिए, मैंने ये सब चीजें आपको पावर पॉइंट में भी समझाए थे, शायद आपने प्रैक्टिस नहीं किया मुझे लग रहा है. देखिए, right. So here the data, whatever we had, there are two things we can manage the things. If you're in Office 365, you will be getting the ready-made options. Like take an example over here. If I have the data over here, I go for this in this format and I'm trying to present it. Okay. So मैंने यहाँ पे बनाया, डेटा को सिलेक्ट किया, कॉपी किया, फिर मैं पावर पॉइंट में गया. एंड व्हेन आई गो फॉर पावर पॉइंट, हमने क्या किया था, मैंने आपको पावर पॉइंट में बताए थे कि सिंपल जाओ यहाँ पे राइट क्लिक करके इमेज कर लो, तो ये छोटा वाला आता है. ये डिजाइन आइडियाज आता है सिर्फ ऑफिस 365 में. तो मैं ये डायरेक्ट क्लिक करने से दिस विल बी ऑटोमेटिकली स्प्रेड अक्रॉस टू माय स्लाइड, टॉप बॉटम लेफ्ट राइट पूरा अलाइन करके सेंटर में अलाइन कर देगा. सपोज ऑफिस 365 नहीं है तो मैंने आपको बताया था कि उसको ले लो, लेफ्ट में से एक्सटेंड करो डायगनली. तो जितना हद तक डायगनली एक्सटेंड कर सकते हो, फिर जाओ पिक्चर फॉर्मेट, यहाँ पे एक अलाइन ऑप्शन मिलेगा, अलाइन सेंटर. तो वही चीज आप मैनुअली भी कर सकते हो इफ यू आर नॉट इन ऑफिस 365. ठीक है, राइट, फाइन. All right, friends. So with this, we call it as the end of day. Yep. So please practice well, be ready. And tomorrow I request you, please log into the meeting room before 5 minutes of the scheduled time and ensure your visuals, audio, everything is working fine, and have a water bottle also with you nearby your desk. Be ready, settle down properly. 2 p.m. will start the session. If at all anything is missing from day one, you recalled, and you need still my support, please drop me a message quickly on that WhatsApp group so that I can log in at least by 1:45 p.m. So 1:45 p.m. to 2 p.m. we'll be discussing only the doubts and queries, and 2 p.m. will be starting our session of day 2. So this is how we can plan, because 16 hours is very, very effective window timeline we have to manage. So anything to be repeated, I'm still extending my support, don't worry about it. But before time, at least 10 to 15 minutes, we have to engage ourselves for the doubt clarification. This is how we can manage. All right, fine then.
So thank you so much. Take care. Stay safe. Tomorrow, see you same time in the meeting room. Day 2 link. I repeat, day 2 link. Don't forget. All right. Take care, people. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.